This podcast was recorded live in the Purple Room Studio.
Hopefully that works this time.
Oh my god.
That was wacko.
I hope it works.
Extremely wacko.
Suck balls.
Yes.
Many
Yes.
balls are sucked.
Many balls were sucked, and in that case, I will say hello, everyone.
Oh, I'll stop sucking balls.
Welcome to the Streamvoid podcast, episode 154.
Hello.
Hello. I am, oh god, I tickled my lip when I hummed. I'm MikeyT.
You were humming?
I hummed the M.
Hum.
I did it again. Now it's tickled. It's tickled. Everything's messed up.
Okay.
My whole system.
Nice lip action there, buddy.
I am MikeyT, and of course, across from me is KurbStomped.
Hello.
You can find us everywhere under our respected monikers.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. You are listening to the Streamvoid podcast. This is a show about life and video games and everything in between.
What's happening?
That is what's happening.
Oh, okay.
You tell me. You tell me what's happening.
Oh, what's happening?
What happened?
Did I mention I don't know if it happened last week or the week before, but I broke my toe.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Broken?
Well, I mean, I didn't go to the doctor or anything, but it was black and blue and it hurts a lot. So I Googled it and it said only if you think your big toe is broken and your bone is not sticking through the skin you should bother going to the doctor for a broken toe, because all they're going to do is say, yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, it's broken. Maybe don't walk around
with your big toe. They'll do something with it and put it in like a cast or whatever.
Yeah.
But for your other toes, it's just like, if it heals crooked, that's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, I dropped a piece of plywood on my foot at work in my Nikes.
Oh, yeah. So
I felt pretty good.
So if you're from WCB, don't listen to this.
Dude, they'd have a field day over there.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Big time. Like driving the forklift with no seatbelt on, using the picker, lift up in the sky, no harness. No
fall arrest training, no sky bucket training,
no
zoom boom training,
no fire training or anything.
Where's your safety manual?
What now?
Who's responsible for doing your field level hazard assessments?
The what now? Excuse me? Anyways.
Are you stretching before work?
Am I supposed to be?
Yes.
No.
Where's your team
not.
stretch?
Team stretch. My day starts with me showing up exactly at 8 and immediately starting work. That's it. So anyways, yeah, I dropped a plywood on my foot.
Ouch.
Felt bad. It hurts in general, but just walking around doesn't really hurt. It's my little toe. Right?
Oh, yeah. Your pinky toe?
So I don't use it that much. Like,
it's not there for balance.
Not really.
It's just there to balance the aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of is for balance.
But I will be like fine, and then all of a sudden I'll stand one way or like push off a weird way, and I'm like, oh yeah, my toe. Right, I forgot. So I mean, when I first get up in the morning and start walking, I'm like, oh, my toe hurts. But then by the end of the day, I don't even notice it unless I I stood on the edge of this thing and my toe hung off the edge. Ouch, that hurts. So, and I didn't even really think it was broken at first, because I was like, oh, it hurts, but it's okay. But then at night I was looking, I'm like, oh, it's bruised, whatever. And I'm like moving it side to side. And I'm like, it's not that bad. And then I pulled on it and I was like, oh, okay. All right, don't do that again. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it sucks anyways, but whatever. No big deal. It was while we were doing our Frozen, we got in a whole truckload of a fast food restaurant.
Oh, yeah. I did not go down to the store.
I don't know what's happening with them, because I did send some to the store, but then the next day they were like, don't send anymore, even though it got ordered. So I'm wondering if it somehow they got, I don't want to name the company, but they got wind that we had it already and we're like, you can't sell that.
Oh,
'cause that has happened before.
Oh,
we had cans of Wendy's chili mix or something like that. And Wendy's was like, no, you can't sell that. They sent a cease and desist letter and everything like that.
So what did you do with it?
I think we just
Gave it
away or threw it out or something like that. Or you probably just went back to the warehouse and we sold it to someone else. Like
wholesale.
Sly. Yeah. But
well, let me know what happens.
yeah, I will for sure. There was other times where we were selling we had Starbucks like the Keurig pods they sell in store, like the branded Starbucks. And I remember one day some woman came in and she was like, running around and not in a huff, but she's like, "Oh, where's the Starbucks?" And I'm like, "Oh, right there." And there's like a stack of them. We got so many. She's like, "I'm going to buy it all." I was like, "Oh, okay. All right, we can do that for you. Like, we'll load it up or whatever." And she's like, "Yeah, I work at the Starbucks and we're having people like return it there. So we got to get this off the market." And I was like, "Oh, well, just so you know, we have like 3,000 more. So there'll be more here tomorrow." She's, "Oh." So then
they're buying them and then returning them at the store.
And getting fresh ones over there. Or whatever.
Wild.
And so it ended up being, I think we made a deal with them where we would like X out the UPC or something like that. So they would see like, "Hey, you didn't buy this here."
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it anymore. But I was just like, "Yeah, I'll sell you all these, but like there's going to be this exact amount again tomorw."
And then again the next day.
Yeah. So she didn't buy it. But
we
she
have
was like,
skids and skids and
I don't know
skids.
who she was talking to, like at the Starbucks head office or something like that, because it wasn't like the owner of the Starbucks was like, coming in. So anyways, that's sort of the way it is for that stuff. And it was because the date on them was like a little bit past. So they're not expired. The best before date is different than expiry date. Yeah,
there are only a few things that actually expire.
Well, and technically too, that like even expiry dates on milk, they just sort of like, put 7 days on it.
Yeah. Well, that's a best before date. That's not an expiry date.
Oh yeah, I guess for milk it is. Yeah. But even when something expires, it's like they don't know.
I think it's like only medicine, some baby formulas, and like a couple. But even those actually have expiry.
Even if it's past the date, it's probably still fine.
Yeah,
it's just like for baby formula, it's like, well, the baby's susceptible to getting sick, so you don't want to give them old baby formula or whatever. But yeah, pretty much everything is in best before date rather than expiry date.
It's just a suggestion. This might be when it's off.
People don't understand that though. No. All the time they'll come and be like, "Oh, this is expired," and I'll be like, "That's not. That's a best before date." Like, how are you like 40 years old and you don't know what a best before date is?
I mean, I didn't know until I was 40 years old. So
I guess so. But anyways, yeah, when we get something in with an expiry date, we're like, "What?" Like we had canned shiitake mushrooms that had an expiry date, and we're like, "I think they just misprinted these."
Well, yeah, a lot of those are like companies will put EXP date, but that's not an expiry date. That's the best before date.
Yeah, but we can't sell it with an expiry date if it's past, even if it's not expired.
No,
we just have to get rid of it. So we've had some weird ones. Like there was, I don't know, maybe it means something different in the like fishing industry, but there was lures that the box had an expiry date on the box.
What?
Yeah, it's like a plastic lure, and I was just like, why does it say expiry date on here? That's so weird. And I was like trying to puzzle out why there would be an expiry date on a lure. Yeah, and I was like, maybe weird. It's their internal expiry date. Like we're going to discontinue this on this date.
Oh, could be. But, or it's like we have to have this box sold.
Yeah.
Just for like
get rid of it.
Getting rid of for like circulating stock.
But we had Band-Aids that had expiry dates on them. And I'm like, I don't think a Band-Aid can go bad.
Maybe it's got some like No,
these were just
poly what's it on it.
These were just basic Band-Aids. So.
Just basic Band-Aids.
Yeah, BB.
Not Band-Aid brand though.
Basic Band-Aid brand bandages. No, they weren't.
No. Some kind of.
What is a Band-Aid called? It's just called a bandage.
Bandage, yeah.
I guess so. Adhesive bandage.
An adhesive bandage.
Yeah.
To cover.
Doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Band-Aid.
No, Band-Aid coined the term. Band-Aid nailed it. That's what are those called? When the company, everything
public domain?
No, when that item is specifically known for that company's brand. Like Oreo. If it's a sandwich cookie that looks like that, it's an Oreo. Or like Band-Aid or
Q-tip. Xerox.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Somebody let us know in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. But they try to prevent that from happening.
They do, but
that's like how Thermos is like not public in Canada. It's a trademark.
Mm-hmm.
but in the rest of the world, it's not. Because I remember when we were playing Alan Wake and you're finding thermoses, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's a thermos? Like,
That's a brand.
That's a brand, but it's only in Canada where it's thermos. So if you, in Canada, you don't go out and buy a thermos, you buy like a vacuum bottle. It's not called a thermos. It's called a vacuum bottle. Because thermos is still like a trademark in Canada for whatever reason. Around the world, it's just public domain now.
Yeah.
So they lost their intellectual rights to it. Anyways, so Broken Toe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't been at the office in like a month, basically. So I haven't done any ordering or anything like that.
So it's all going to go to hell.
Oh, well, yeah, big time. I'll have a lot of ordering to do in the new year, but whatever. That's just the way the boss wanted to do it. So I just say, yes, okay, sounds good. But I'm also not in the office. So
yeah,
I like that. And I didn't put this on here. Oh man, good thing I remembered. I found something for you, Mikey T.
Did you now?
Well, I was at work and I'm listening to podcasts and audiobooks and everything like that. And for whatever reason, there's a few times it'll be just like, why was I thinking about this? Like, I don't know how it came into my mind, but I was thinking about Star Wars and the like first trilogy of books, modern books. It sort of reinvigorated the franchise with the Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Star Wars Heir to the Empire series.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wonder if there's an audiobook of that.
Oh.
So let me look on Audible, and I'm like, it is on here. This is cool. So I always have to listen to the preview because sometimes they read it by someone who I can't stand their voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wanted to. There's a novelization of like Quentin Tarantino's. He wrote a novel version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it's read by like Jennifer Jason Leigh, and she has kind of a mush mouth a bit. So I was like, I can't listen to this.
So it's just me.
No, like it's not mush mouth. Like her teeth are too big for her mouth. So anyways, I was like, let me listen to this Star Wars one. So I'm listening to it, and it is like a radio play.
Yeah.
Like you hear, it starts off, they're on a Star Destroyer. You hear the hum of the Star Destroyer engines.
Nice.
When there's like a space battle, they'll be like, like this, they're flying by. He does the voices. So like when it's like Yoda or Admiral Akbar talking, it's like Admiral Akbar. It's this one guy that's doing all the voices.
Yeah, yeah.
He kind of sounds like he'll do like Luke, and it sort of a bit sounds like Luke, and he'll do like Han, and he's got a totally different way, but it has like all the sound effects, like Chewbacca, like it'll in the books, it'll be like Chewbacca like made a noise that Han understood, and they'll play like a Chewbacca sound. And I was like, oh my God.
That sounds awesome.
I think Mikey T could get behind this audiobook for sure. So you should listen to the sample of the Heir to the Empire books.
Yeah, I'll have to. That sounds great.
I
have the books in that closet just right at the bottom.
I have them too, but I was just like, I'm not going to read them again. But I was like, I'd like to hear it again because I didn't remember them very much, which is obvious because when we were talking about Ashoka, I was talking about how I'm like, I swear to God, Grand Admiral Thrawn he was a Jedi and he could like control people because I remember there was a giant space battle where they were controlling all the space guys or whatever. And then it's like, oh no, in the book, they go and find a Jedi and make him do it. So it's not Grand Admiral Thrawn that was controlling. Well, he was controlling the fleet because he told this guy what to do.
Yeah.
And he was controlling the fleet with his force powers. Because the implication is that the Emperor was doing that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why everything went to shit. Is when the Emperor died, his sort of like control over the whole fight sort of degraded. And that's why the rebels could win. Is because they didn't have like the one guy sort of doing everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm listening to that. It's pretty good. So I'm wondering if all the Star Wars books are like that. I wouldn't be surprised. It has the music, like when it starts, it plays like the Star Wars theme and everything. I was like, oh, what's happening here?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you would enjoy that for
Probably.
sure. So then I was like, oh, do I want to try out some of the new books? Like, do I want to listen to the new Thrawn book that came out? I don't know. I have to check it out. But yeah, that was pretty much what was going on at work, I think.
Nice.
Just been doing like a lot of baloney.
Yeah.
Picking and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very slow at work for me right now.
Not for me.
It's winding down.
Oh yeah.
Because, Christmas holiday time is typically a time where we don't get to do any work because you're not allowed to. But
Yeah.
the way it works, because we're a federally regulated company,
Yeah.
which means we get Boxing Day as a stat.
Oh baby.
So we're taking next week. Is it next week? No, the week after. We're taking from the 22nd to the 2nd off.
Oh my
And
god.
we're technically only missing 3 days of work.
Oh my god.
So
How lucky.
that's pretty good. So it'll be a nice little time off time there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys are already off.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
I
You're
don't
not
know.
sure.
We'll find out tomorrow.
They're just not going to show up.
Well, there's not a lot of work for the splicing crew to do right now. So we have one of them's working with the line crew. The other two were on, like I said before, I sent them to the Sunshine Coast,
Yeah.
and they had to do a bunch of work down there. I was going to send them to Nanaimo after that, but there wasn't any work for them to do in Nanaimo. That all got done early.
Yeah.
So now they're back, and our primary contractor who we contract to, they were like, hey, can you, we need help.
Oh,
We need help. Because they were going to have all the splicing done on this one job in Merritt. But the other company ran into some issues that they were having spliced. So now we're going in there to assist with the splicing.
to the rescue.
To the rescue, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. We rescue people.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so, yeah, that's good. That'll be a little bit more work for them to do until... I mean, they're okay with taking the more time off.
Yeah, I was going to
Christmas, but
say,
it's
would
like-
they have preferred to have been just like, I was prepared to not work.
They were prepared to not work, but
Yeah.
we need them to work. So,
Yeah.
sorry, boys.
I hate when that happens. It's like, I'm off. Oh, we need you to do this. Fuck. God damn it.
I didn't tell them they were off. They had it in their minds that they could take the time off. And I'm like, no.
Well, that's even worse then.
Yeah.
Because you've built it up in your own mind.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to get some more time off. Like, it's all right.
No, you're still
No,
working, bitch.
Still working.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. I bought I've been having issues with my sciatic nerve.
Oh, Grandpa Mikey. Over
Yeah,
here.
Grandpa Mikey
Wow.
having issues. So like when I shuffle around, like if I'm doing dishes where I shuffle back and forth, I can feel a pinch in my left buttock.
Oh my
And so
god.
that's a sciatic nerve. Just it's inflamed, so it gets pinched really easily.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of, my desk. I'm a desk job guy
Yeah,
now. I
desk
just sit
jockey.
there and
Yeah.
do nothing. Well, not do nothing, but
Oh, he admitted it.
I sit there and I clickety clack on the
Yeah,
keyboard
yeah.
all day, and I don't get a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
So I bought a ceiling monitor mount,
Okay.
and a new Fire Stick, and I've got that mounted in front of my treadmill.
Oh.
So now I can go for walks while watching stuff.
When I picture a ceiling mount, I picture it like flat to the roof.
Oh no.
And I was just like, how is laying on your back going to solve this?
No, I got it mounted in front of my treadmill. So now I'm watching Marvel movies and walking.
God. Jesus Christ.
But I figured I got all these Marvel series I got to catch up on, so I can do that too. But
The rewatch of Secret Invasion?
no, what a terrible show. Yeah. I'm currently on Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of funny. Yesterday when I was doing my walk, so I'm only watching half an hour at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It was at like a really good scene in that movie. I think it was the Washington Monument scene.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but
And so I'm walking, and I'm just tuned right into the movie, and I'm like, I tuned out just for a second. I find I'm almost at the back of the treadmill, almost about to fall off. So I'm not walking fast enough because I'm so wrapped up in the movie.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh my god,
that
this is
been
bad.
Hilarious. You gotta set up a camera.
Yeah, right? Just face plant right onto the front of the thing.
Just like man smash his face after enjoying too much Spider-Man.
Right?
Oh my god.
Oh man, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm only walking, so I don't have the safety clip on.
Oh yeah.
So it would have just kept going, and I would have just been shoved out the back
Oh
of the
yeah. I get
treadmill.
fired off the end. Is it really right up against the wall? So you'll start doing spins as you bounce off the wall.
No, well, it's not right up against the wall. There's a bunch of like crap behind it.
Oh, okay.
Just like storage stuff.
Okay.
There's like some golf clubs, and it'd end up being terrible.
Fun.
Yes. This is the second week of the new stream schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting out YouTube videos every Wednesday and then streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But of course now we're we're thinking about moving back into a couch dudes, couch this, movie time kind of scenario.
Oh my God.
And so
That's the first I'm hearing of this.
Oh, really? Somebody started a poll in the chat.
Yep. And it was a unanimous 69 votes.
Yeah, right. I didn't know you could add more votes by using points.
You could. I don't know if they removed it or whatever, but there was a time where you could add it to have more votes by bits too.
Oh, interesting.
But we just used stream points on it. So
yeah, you got a lot of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna.
I didn't vote for 69.
Oh,
it wasn't me.
Oh,
No.
I wonder who did.
It was Nacho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
So we'll move back into a
I
couch
didn't
news,
vote on
couch
it. I was
this.
totally neutral.
Oh, and roll in from there.
Yep. That'll be.
We'll probably start up next week.
Yeah, we'll have to see about what game or whatever to dude it up with.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially now we got the new mics and everything. The audio will be better,
Yeah.
and we can multi-stream easily from my house, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it with XSplit here, but mine uses a website, not software, so I could stream to 1,000 different platforms.
Yeah, I can only stream to however many I can compress with this here computer.
Exactly. Yeah, so that'll be fun, anyways.
Yeah. So the new stream schedule is going pretty good.
Good.
It's been fun getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I find that if I stream for a long time, or even just a couple hours, and I stop and I don't unwind like with the chat or anything like that, I just feel like garbage after. I'm like downtrodden. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is garbage. I'm like, But I find that if I have some chat interaction after, like an hour of chat interaction or half an hour or whatever, I feel great.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, let's keep doing it. Just fire it up the next day. This is great.
That's weird.
But if I game right until end and then I just stop, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's weird.
I don't know why. It is weird.
That's so weird.
It's very
just
weird.
End it and then go talk to yourself for 20 minutes. See how that happens.
But yeah, if I end and I talk to chat, I'm great. I just want to keep streaming the next day.
Huh. That's weird.
Because like Monday or the Wednesday, no. Thursday I streamed and then I talked to chat for a long time after. And that was great. I was like, yeah, that's good. Well, Friday I did it and I just ended stream and I was like, oh man, this is garbage. It's awful. But then yesterday when I did it, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yesterday I did it. I chatted with chat. We reacted to some videos. I was like, man, this is great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a just chatting streamer.
I don't know, but you enjoy the gaming when you do it.
I do enjoy the gaming when I do it, but yeah, if I end and I don't just chat with chat, I'm just like, meh.
Weird.
Because last night after stream, I watched a video about Neon and what's his face.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that, but
what the hell is his face?
Were they the ones that were going to talk shit to Donald
Jack
Trump
Doherty
or something?
Yeah, Neon was. So I watched a video on what they do and what they're all about, and I'm like, oh my god, these kids are the worst of humanity.
Yeah,
they're just the worst of humanity.
Of course.
The Jack Doherty kid started off like super young, kind of like the hell's that singer?
Justin
Bieber started off that young, right?
Yeah.
Got famous and started doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Bieber started doing that as well.
Stupid shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like,
that's not why he was
famous. It wasn't harassing people and like trying to pick fights with people.
Yeah.
And just saying the worst stuff you could.
It's weird that when you're young and you get positive confirmation of your terrible behavior, that continues on.
Yeah, right?
It's so weird. You get rewarded for it when you're a kid and you continue doing it into adulthood. I can't believe it.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
Like this Neon kid, the one that I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is awful. He was in a barber shop and the barber was, a colored individual, and he was just dropping the N-bomb. He's like, I'm just going to say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And this is the Neon guy. And the barber's like, hey, let's go outside.
Yeah.
I was
just
like,
beat
what?
the shit out of him.
This is unreal. And he would just say the stupidest stuff like that on his video towards whoever.
Yeah.
And trying to like goat them on. And he would get beat up all the time.
Good.
And he eventually hired bodyguards so that he could do it. And then the bodyguards would step in. He'd just like go in front of people. Same with Jack Doherty would do it as well. Just like try and like goad people. And then
need to kick those people off the YouTube.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful. I watched one of Neon's like streams,
Mhm.
and he had like 100,000 people watching him on Kick, and I'm like, Peaks Cat was like, I don't think there's 100,000 people on Kick watching anybody.
Oh yeah. So it was like
It's probably
view
bots, yeah.
out the ass. Yeah, sounds terrible. Yeah, I just saw it and I was like, I don't need to watch this.
Yeah.
Even if it's not even like going to their, and it's not helping them out by giving them a view or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to watch it at all.
No. Can I say person of color? Is that?
It's a bit weird.
Is it a bit weird?
It's a bit weird.
What do you say?
African American.
An African American. Yes, that's what you say. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think
Like,
that's what I was supposed to say.
The 60s here or whatever. I mean,
right?
you could say a person. You didn't say a person of color. You said a colored person.
Oh yeah. Not allowed to say that. Don't say.
Well,
that.
it's not
It's
that
not bad,
but,
but like-
it's just like a very archaic way of saying
Yeah.
it. I mean, unless they
I
were
was
in
thinking
Canada.
about it, like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Unless they're Canadian, then it's African Canadian. I've seen that with Canadians that are African, and then someone will be like, "Oh, you're African American," and they're like, "No, I'm not African American," and they're like, "Well, what are you?" I'm African Canadian. Oh, really? I thought you were African American. It's like I'm not American. Dumbass.
North American.
Well, okay, technically, yes, okay,
North American for sure.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, played some video games.
Uh-huh.
Played the finals. And the finals it's good, but it's also now that things are just broken, it feels like. Because people are finding out the meta and how to break
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
And like the light class is the class you play because they one-shot everything.
Well, I saw a guy he's some sort of engineer class. I don't know what he was, but he had a turret he could put down.
Yeah, that's the medium.
And he put it on a garbage can and then picked up the garbage can and just carried the turret around the level, and it was automatically shooting everybody for him.
Wow.
He didn't have to do anything, basically. People would just come around the corner and it would just be like, and kill him. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that.
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to be able to do it.
They definitely buffed the turrets. They buffed light class because light class has a knife,
Mhm.
or if you go in behind somebody, you just one hits them.
Yeah.
Huge chunk of damage, and then you could quickly swing it again if you didn't get all the damage you needed. But they can go invisible as well.
Yeah.
So they just invisible, go up, one shot, dead.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We were running into that a lot, and also server issues where we just couldn't join games. Especially last night, I was like, we played for maybe an hour, and I was like, no, I'm done. Let's not play this anymore.
It's a new game and they're working out the kinks or whatever. I don't think that game, I think they kind of effed up with their character thing. Like, I think they need characters
Yeah.
in that kind of game. Like, you need your character that you can like make your erotic art of that everyone knows,
Yeah.
Whereas this game, it's like when you're playing it, I'm like, God, your character's so fucking ugly. Like, you got a fat chick that's wearing like tights and like a brown shirt. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and then there's all the costumes you can unlock. There's the Elvis Vegas
but,
costume, and like
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess that's the way sort of Counter-Strike works, I guess.
yeah, it's just meant to be an esport.
But like, couldn't they have done it with like Valorant style, where it's like, oh, you're light, but you play as this character, and you can get other accessories for it?
I mean, they probably could have,
I think that's a smarter play than what they're doing.
but I think they're trying to not make it about the character. It's just
Well, that's a mistake, I think.
probably
Like, people like to be like, oh, this is like my character.
yeah,
I main this character.
yeah.
Oh, what do you main in this game? Oh, the fat chick with the brown pants and the white shirt. Oh, okay, cool. That's nice.
I think the finals is more geared towards being the team composition, like not about not about the characters, because you only get one loadout.
Yeah, but
and
that's
then
the
your
same way
sideboard.
as Valorant.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a team composition, but it's also like you play as this character and you
Mhm.
choose your loadout.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think it's a mistake, but what do I know?
Who knows? I know that it doesn't have a lot of viewers on Twitch. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
how am I supposed to ship these characters when they're all generic? Come on. Yeah.
Not a lot of viewers on Twitch is wild. Apex has way more viewers on Twitch. COD has way more viewers on Twitch. You think
Even
that
COD has characters.
Yeah. You think that for a game that's meant to be an esport, it would be a whole lot better. Like a lot more people would be watching.
Well,
So it's very exciting to play.
Yeah, but I mean, who the fuck? I don't know. Hyperscape.
Hyperscape.
Yeah. Like, That game, you may as well be playing Hyperscape again.
Yeah, maybe. Although Hyperscape felt terrible to play. This game actually feels okay.
It didn't look like it was that bad when I was watching it to play, but I'm just watching it, right?
Yeah. No, actually playing Hyperscape, it just felt like garbage.
Yeah.
Time to kill was so high.
Mm-hmm.
All the guns felt like wet noodles. It just didn't feel good to play.
The old wet noodle slap. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I played Teleglitch last night instead.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Cause I was just speedrunning Teleglitch with Helixes, getting the chat to inform my choices on what I built, where I went.
There's not integration though.
No, there's no integration.
Okay,
but yeah, trying out the new random starting weapons. I found that you could start one of your random starting weapons would be no weapon at all. You would just get cyber legs. Which make you move fast. So I was just like zooming through the levels, knifing who I could, trying to find the guns.
Oh yeah.
So on the first level, you always get a shotgun, and you always get a sticky grenade launcher. But you have to find those, and they could be who knows where in the level. So I'm just like running around, dropping bombs, dropping meat traps, trying to find the weapons.
Classic meat trap.
God. I would say that game is an overhead Doom.
Okay.
With survival crafting.
Yeah.
I would say that's what that game is like.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Roguelike, no?
No, a little bit roguelike because
are the levels random?
The levels are all randomly generated, but the same rooms. All the same rooms are in the level, but they're just in different locations.
Yeah, roguelike. Yeah. Roguelite.
Yeah, so all the same hallways, all the same main rooms, all the same sub rooms, they're all there, but just randomly thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it makes it fun. It's highly replayable.
Yeah.
And the seizure style graphics are great.
The seizure style graphics. As an aside there, you said meat trap. Do you think that meat trap is the male version of thirst trap?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Meat trap.
Anyways.
And then, of course, I put out a video on While the Iron's Hot.
Oh, yeah.
Which
my brother watched that. He said he enjoyed it.
I put together, it was like 40 minutes. I recorded for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But because I was talking throughout the entire thing, it was really hard to cut down.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to cut down on like when I was doing crafting or traveling around.
Mm-hmm.
So I had so much iron after going into the first cave. And so when I was smelting it, I did the editing where I was just like hitting perfects every time on the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like 5 frames of perfects and then slowly go down to 1 frame of perfects. It was like whoosh, 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 like turboing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that took a while to do.
I bet.
But I edited that entire video in one day with all the memes and everything put in. I was like, oh man, I did it.
Nice.
I slapped it together.
Nice. Yeah, the game is interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to play a little more today.
Nice.
Edit it tomorrow.
Nice.
Put it on a Wednesday.
Nice.
It'll be good.
I just played some Yakuza. Like a Dragon.
Yes, I saw. I was watching a little bit.
So I really want to get through it so I can play Infinite Wealth when it comes out next month, because that's the sequel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got Ichiban in it. And Kiryu, I guess, is in it as well. It is turn-based like Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, Drakwe. And it's typical Yakuza like story. The main story is serious and it's a crime drama, and then it's like you got a side mission to find out who's pissing in the river. So it's typical Yakuza, but
typical every side quest is horny.
Yeah, pretty much. I really want to play through them all because every time I see a clip of something in a Yakuza game, I'm like, is this real? Is this actually in the game? Because I saw a video where it was Kiryu was watching a live stream of like a just chatting streamer girl where she's like, oh, I'm feeling really tight. And then he types in where are you feeling tight? She's like, oh, like right in this area. She like squeezes her boob. It's like live video and she squeezes her boobs together. And then like the gameplay of it is that you have to type in Kiryu's response into the chat by hitting the button prompts to type all the letters.
Yeah.
So his reply to her when she does that is boobs. So you have to type like XOOOBS, and then he'll send that to her as the like e-girl he's watching. And I was
like in a quick time style event.
Yeah. I was like, is this real? And someone was like, yeah, that's real. That's not even the craziest thing in the series. And I was like, I have to play every single one of these games. This is so stupid. So next year, I think is going to be the year of Yakuza.
Nice.
Where I'm going to try to play through like basically one a month. That'll almost take me the whole year to do. Starting with Infinite Wealth, because I have to play that one when it comes out, because it has the Animal Crossing like island building mode in it. So I got to try that out.
14 days until the year of Yakuza starts.
Well, it's kind of started now.
Oh,
because I'm already playing it. I've already done Yakuza 0. And I have all the video recorded, so I just got to make it into the YouTube videos. So yeah, I got to start working on that. But if I would have known that the Pokemon DLC was out, I would have played that instead when I played Yakuza, because the Pokemon DLC is out. So I played that on Friday, I guess. And yeah, it's Pokemon DLC.
Very good.
You go to a new area under the ocean.
A new under the ocean area?
It's like a giant dome under the water that's temperature and climate controlled, and it's split into 4 different biomes that you can go into and catch Pokemons.
Underwater water Pokemons?
I mean, there's water Pokemon in the water under there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's little rivers in the dome, you know?
Very good.
But there's a new mode called synchronization mode where you go and you like enter the mind of a Pokemon and you run around as the Pokemon.
That's cool.
And fight guys. You don't really fight them, you just sort of like attack them.
You fight guys? Or you fight Pokemon?
Pokemon. But it's as I was doing it, I was like running around and you can like see yourself standing there. And I was like, I wonder if that would be like a mind-shattering experience to see yourself standing there when you're in another body, you know?
Oh yeah, probably.
So I would think that this would cause you to go insane or something like that. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I caught some Pokemon. It's a lot harder because this time I'm not using my existing team.
You could do it.
What?
You could use an FPV drone.
I guess so. But the thing is you don't control your body when you're controlling the Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like you could like attack your body and you wouldn't be able to defend yourself. But yeah, I'm not using my existing team. I'm catching Pokemon that are in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot harder to do the DLC when you're using like Pokemon of an equal level to what you're fighting. So like I fought the story mission, you have to fight Carmine, and she kicked the shit out of me twice. It was like a rout. Her Scrafty just beat the shit out of me. Because my typing is bad, like the attacks she has against my guys are the perfect ones to like counter them.
Yeah.
So they're like, she's like one hitting all my Pokemon. It's like, fuck. So I'm gonna have to train more, see about catching different Pokemon to use or whatever.
You gotta counter her Pokemon. She's
yeah,
got
basically.
all the Pokemon.
No, she uses the same 6, but it's just like Scrafty knows Ice Punch, and it would like one hit my Flygon because it's part Dragon type, and dragons are weak to ice.
I don't know, but sure.
I'm telling you, this is the way it is. So I need to switch it up, but it's been interesting anyways. It's typical like Nintendo DLC kind of, where it's like, oh, you kind of have to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, it really makes the game easier, because it's like one of the type in the game you have this terastallizing where you can like power up your Pokemon and it takes on a different type. So you could have a Charmander that's a water terastallization. So that means it's water. It's not weak to water anymore because it's also a water type, right? But when you catch the Pokemon, you don't get to choose what their terastallization type. Generally, it's the same type as what they have. So if I caught a Charmander, it would generally terastallize into a fire type.
Yeah.
So if you want to make it into a water type, you have to use these Terra shards, and then it takes like 50 or 100 to make it into the water type. And before, you would like do a raid and you would beat a water type terastallized Pokemon and you get like 2 Terra shards or whatever. Now in this zone, they're just laying on the ground. You pick it up. 15 Terra shards of water types.
Just racking up Terra shards.
So it's like, it makes it so much easier to do. So it's another one where it's like, you kind of got to buy it. But anyways, I'm liking it so far.
Very good.
It's good times.
It's good times.
I don't think I played anything else. I did a movie stream last night.
Yes.
It was kind of spur of the moment because I wasn't going to, but it sort of was like, it worked out. Like it was very like coincidental because at work for whatever reason, again, I started thinking about this 80s movie, Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
And the sequel, The Jewel of the Nile. And I was thinking like, oh, in the first movie, the idea is she's a romance novelist. She meets this guy. They fall in love. They have an adventure. They fall in love, whatever. But then in the start of the second movie, he's a bit of a bitch because she gets an opportunity to follow her dream. And he just wants to go like to Greece as a change of scenery. And she's like, no, I have to go to Egypt to write this book. Like, I'm going to be able to write an actual real thing that's not a romance thing. And he's like, well, maybe we had a good run. I'll see you later. Like, bye. I'm going to Greece. And I'm like, this guy's such a fucking bitch. Like, your woman has like an opportunity to do something. It's only going to be 6 months. You can go to Greece after. Like, just be happy for her. And he's like, nah, I'm going to Greece. Bye.
I'm going to Greece. Yeah.
So I was thinking about this at work. Like, man, he was such a bitch in this movie. So when I was playing Pokemon, I found like a Dawnstone or something like that. And in the chat, the tank wrote like romancing the Curbstone. And I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking about romancing the stone today. That's so crazy. So then I was like, oh, we should do those on a movie stream. And then the tank was like, oh, he always makes up like doctors of a movie poster, puts my face on it. And I was like, okay, tell you what, if you send me movie posters for Romancing the Stone and the Jewel of the Nile before tomorrow's stream time, we'll do a movie stream. He's like, okay, no problem. So he made up the 2 posters and sent them to me. So we did that and had the movie stream.
Nice.
And those movies are hilarious. I like them a lot.
It's been a long time since I've seen them.
Few like jokes where you're like, whoa, okay, times have changed. Like there's one joke in the second one, they go to Egypt and they're going through like the city, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're having a party and all the Egyptian guys are dancing around and Danny DeVito's characters turns to Michael Douglas' character. And this is not my joke. This is his joke.
Yeah.
I'm relaying this as educational purposes here. He turns to him and says like, there's not going to be a single sheep that's safe tonight. And I was like, holy shit. Like, what the crap? So there's a few times where stuff like that is said and you're just like, wow, I don't think that joke would be said nowadays.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's pretty crazy anyways, but I recommend them. They're enjoyable. And I was like, wow, I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a third one. Like they only did 2 and that was it.
Sometimes it's all you need.
But they were pretty big hits in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and Michael Douglas produced them, so he made a lot of money off of them too.
He did.
Yeah. Maybe a script never came together or whatever. And it wasn't like they were like years and years apart. Like the one came out in like 1984 and the next one was in 1986. So it's not like it was like 10 years in between them.
He's too busy dreaming about Ant-Man at that time, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Or Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he implied that he got mouth cancer from eating her pussy?
What?
Yeah, someone interviewed him and he said something like, you know, oh, mouth cancer, like, oh, you know, you don't really a smoker or anything like that. And how did you get it? And he's like, too much cunnilingus. It's just like, that gave your mouth cancer? Ooh, what's your wife's pussy like? Jesus. So
wild.
Yeah. Anyways.
Wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
Yes.
Wild and wacky.
I continued to watch Pluto, the anime on Netflix.
Oh.
And it's extremely good. It's like there's a lot of these little stories about all these little robots that are like, you know, little heartwarming stories, tugging at your heartstrings, but it's also like a murder mystery whodunit kind of thing. All these robots are getting murdered and humans are getting murdered.
Oh, well, that's a crime.
In the same fashion.
Robots, who cares? They'll build another one.
Yeah, all these robots are like one of a kind, one-offs, the most advanced robots in the world.
Doesn't matter. There's still a robot,
and someone's going around murdering them.
It's not murder.
It's weird because these robots get married and they have kids.
No,
well, they adopt kids anyway.
No, I would never allow a robot to adopt a child.
No.
No.
You actually might like this show.
Raised by a robot.
You actually might like this show. It's pretty good.
In the new year, we really got to get back on the Weebus Plebus.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it sure has.
Things are slowing down.
New year, new episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New year, new episode.
Yeah.
I've got time now, so.
I refuse to allow a robot to adopt a human child.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's against my
It's
moral
against the Geneva
conviction.
Convention.
It's against my moral conviction.
Yeah. You know it's not against your moral convictions?
Patreon?
Patreon.com.
It's true. I signed up for a Patreon yesterday.
Yeah. Yahoo's.
It's this podcast I listen to called No More Whoppers.
Oh.
It's vaguely video game related. It's about two guys that wrote for video game websites in like the early 2000s to the late 2000s. And they ostensibly started it to be just sort of a discussion podcast where they weren't really going to talk about games, which they don't too much. It's more of them sort of riffing with each other. And they have two shows on their Patreon. They did one called, I'm like advertising for their podcast. One's called Gold in 16 Seconds. And it's about how when they were in the early 2000s, they remembered a trailer for the movie Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
I think it was Gone in 60 Seconds. No, it was The Italian Job. Sorry. They remembered a trailer for The Italian Job where it was very poorly edited, the audio. And at the end, it had Edward Norton saying, "What happened to my gold?" But it took two lines because he never says that in the movie.
Yeah.
And it edited like where he said, like, "What happened to my car?" So it says like, "What happened to my gold?" And they were like, "Was this a fever dream?" But like 20 years later, they found the advertisement on YouTube.
Yeah.
So they decided to do a podcast talking about that era where they had that, movie trailer, but they talk about 1 second of each, 1 second of the trailer in each episode. It's so stupid. It mostly breaks down to them talking about what was going on in their lives in that era of 2003 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then their new one they're doing is called The Game Site About Nothing, where they talk about this website called Crunk Games they did in the early to mid 2000s that I didn't know they did for the longest time, because I went to Crunk Games back in the day and I read all the articles and everything like that. And they're talking about this website that they did, because I remember I read all the stuff that was on there, but I guess I never noticed that their names were on it. Because they sort of threw it out in one of their regular No More Whoppers episodes. Like, "Oh yeah, we did that on Crunk Games." And I was like, wait, they were Crunk Games? Like, what the fuck?
That's wild.
So I signed up so I could listen to their two podcasts. But why don't we talk about our Patreon instead?
Yeah, we have one of those.
Oh my God.
That's a good way to support this podcast, the Streamvoid podcast, by going to patreon.com/StreamvoidPod. For just $1 a month, you can get access to our pre-show content, our post-show content. You'll get this podcast early, and you can listen to it on Monday instead of Wednesday.
So I also wonder about the guys that are, I know, on our Patreon and they listen to the show early and stuff. Did you know you get your own RSS feed through Patreon?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't really know either. But if you click on like the three dots settings wise, you can go there and there's like a private RSS feed that you can add into your own podcast listen tour. And listen to them, so you don't have to listen to them in the Patreon app or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
So if you're listening through the Patreon app, you could import them into Spotify.
Oh,
through your custom RSS feed.
Interesting.
Because everyone gets their own when they sign up for the Patreon. So
so those guys who are listening to this early,
you can stop using the fucking Patreon app. That thing's garbage.
Yeah, just $1 a month.
Yeah,
you can get access to all the stuff.
We're doing it wrong though. It's $5 to get on there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
$7.50 Canadian.
Oh,
but I mean, whatever. They also are making like $1,000 a month on their Patreon. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So they're a little higher class.
Way higher. They have way more Patreons than we do. Yeah.
So, anyways, ours is a steal. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it's definitely a steal. So, we're currently live on Twitch.
Are we?
And Twitch has become a cesspool of sexuality, sexual content, and all kinds of
are we going to start
deviancy.
Some artistic nudity right now? Okay, take your pants off and put your pasty on. And let's get going.
Twitch updated their TOS a couple days ago to make it so that you can do all this sexualized content. Because for some reason, the new meta in Twitch is the topless meta.
It's not sexualized. It's artistic.
It's artistic. Yeah, it's all artistic content. And as long as you tag it as that, you can have that on there. So all the body painting, all the topless meta. Because like,
so it's artistic.
It's artistic, yeah.
Which
it's artistic toplessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the topless meta that was led to this was so stupid anyways, because it'll be like a huge tittied streamer who has no top on, but the camera just like goes way down the cleavage, like right to where the nipple would start. Because that's the part that, you know, if you just saw a little nipple and that's it, everything else was green screened out. That's like so erotic, you know.
Yeah.
Not the shape or the size of the breast. It's just
the nipple,
just the areola, you know, even a shade of it.
Banned.
You're banned. But so it'd be like these huge mommy milkers hanging down and you just can't see the nipple. And they're all like lubed up, of course. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And so Twitch was like, well, we got to do something about this because they're technically not going against the TOS, but it's technically not something you can do on Twitch. So they're like, we're going to update this. We thought about this for, you know, a good 30 minutes now. So we're going to allow artistic nudity and the toplessness is cool. And as you know, as long as you're not showing a butthole or like a vagina or the actual nipple in a real way, like an actual real one.
But if you're doing art or anything like that, you can do that.
So of course that opened the floodgates that night where it was like, oh, I'm going to do some artistic nudity while drawing my furry character with a huge cock and like a Prince Albert piercing in it and stream that. Or like, I'm going to have my VTuber nude, because that was the other thing. Fictionalized nudity was allowed, which means if you're a VTuber, you could have you could be naked basically. Mm-hmm. So there's naked VTubers. It was like the wild west for one night on
one
Twitch.
Night. It
was
crazy.
Their mods had to work overtime because they were like, well, technically this is not against the new TOS, but we're going to issue all these temporary bans to these people. And part of it was because of AI generated art. Because people were generating AI art, which is hard to distinguish from it being real or fake.
Yeah.
So like literally the next day, Twitch went back on their TOS and reversed most of it.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, they had 2 TOS updates within 2 days.
Well, I know they did, but I don't know if they were. I think they just clarified a lot of stuff.
Well,
as to what you
may as well as be a reversal.
Yeah. You can still do the artistic nudity stuff, but you need to have it labeled and it needs to be this. You can't have like full on penetrative. Yeah, that was sexual the other thing. Content. There was like it has to be artistic. Yeah, there's one clip posted in our group chat where it's one streamer streaming a video game where it's just like a side-scrolling pixel art game, but it was full-on nudity, full-on when you died there was full-on sexual stuff going on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, why is that even in the game?
Yeah, it's so weird because the game looks like it's like the graphics are pretty good. It's like pixel art style, and the mechanics look great. It looks like a good game to play, but it's just full of boobs and sexual content.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. I don't like. So like, I'll be sent these clips by our researcher Pixiecat. She'll be, look at this one. Look at what's going on here, and I'm just like, oh, it's just not even like titillating in the least.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh god, this is just like whatever. And it's like, wow, the people that are like watching this on Twitch are just absolute degenerates. Because like the big one that started, I don't remember what her name is, something Bunny or something like that. She keeps claiming she changed the TOS because she was the one that was doing this sort of like topless, shiny boob meta.
Yeah.
And you look at her and like she just doesn't even look like a real person, basically.
No,
like her lips are all fake, her boobs are all fake, her ass is all fake, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't know, man. Just so like unappealing to me.
That's this person here.
I don't remember the name. Something Bunny or something like that. And yeah, it's just so
Morgue Pie.
Oh, Morgue Pie. Yeah, that might be the one I'm thinking
Morgue
of.
Pie.
Yeah.
She looks real fake.
Yeah, it just is like, ugh. And but there's how many people watching her right now? 5,000?
Oh, I don't know. Let's go to her channel and find out.
Been streaming like nonstop, basically.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, yeah, good for her. Get that money, but it's just so unappealing to me. And that was the thing too. It'd be like, oh, why is it showing me this on the homepage? Like, I'm not interested in this. It's probably because I click on all these links that I get sent. Be like, hey, look at this one. Then they think I'm a coomer and I want to see all this shit on Twitch.
AI Retro Gamer GF.
AI retro gamer GFA.
Okay, she doesn't look actually that fake when she's live.
Oh, that's
These other pictures were pretty fake.
That's probably not the one I'm looking at. But anyways.
I mean, she's got glossy lips, no top on, rosy cheeks. Her makeup's all super crazy.
Yeah, it's probably
the way
not
she's
the
done
one
her
I'm
eyes.
thinking of then. Yeah, I don't know. Twitch is just becoming into like OnlyFans. Like, when are they just going to allow that on there?
I don't know.
Do you remember like just like a year or two ago when it was scandalous? There was just a hot tub.
All right.
Like, oh my God, they're in a hot tub on stream. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. She's playing Plants vs. Zombies. It's all right.
How big is the postage size stamp of a video of her playing?
It's over a third of the screen.
Over a third.
Over a third.
Okay. Whenever I would see them, they're not playing a game. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that one I showed you earlier today was, what was that? FU Luxury?
Oh, yeah. It was literally. But she's not naked. It's just her.
No, she's not
ass.
naked, but it's just her laying down in her gamer chair and the screen is way, way in the background. She's playing something. You can't even tell what it is that she's playing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I mean, whatever. It works.
Yeah.
And that's not what, people, not everybody is going to do that or want to see it, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. That's not what I'm on Twitch for.
That's not what I'm on Twitch for either.
Yeah, like, anyways, maybe if it was like that, but the person was also interesting. They had something interesting to say or whatever. But like, whenever I've looked at these clips of these channels, they generally are not saying anything, or they're just saying like, "Oh, thank you, thanks for the sub." It's just like, oh my God.
You gotta get in there. You gotta watch for like an hour, and then they'll say something, thought-provoking.
Do I just have to like keep gifting until they say my name?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then that'll be your thought-provoking breakthrough. You'll be
Then
like,
I
oh my
get
God, she said my name.
a
You'll
little-
get that adrenaline rush. You'll be like,
for the rest
oh,
of the day.
gift sub.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm just not watching correctly.
Probably not.
I'll have to go home and spend a few hours.
You got to turn this brain off up top and
Oh,
turn
I see.
your lower brain on.
I see.
Maybe.
See. Is
I
that
don't
how
know.
it works?
That might be how it works.
Okay. I'll keep it in mind anyways.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I guess I don't know. Are they worried about Kick at Twitch? Like, why are they doing this?
They're probably worried about Kick.
But why would you be worried about Kick?
I don't
Ain't
know.
nobody watching anybody on Kick.
100,000 people are watching Neon on Kick.
No. That's a fake number.
Yes.
Is that like world record numbers?
That is world record numbers.
Yeah.
I think.
That's crazy.
I can't remember how many people
Was it
Ninja
like
had.
Well, it wasn't the record that Gref G guy, that like Latin American streamer guy doing some Fortnite thing or something like that?
Most watched Twitch stream.
I think it was the Gref G or something like that.
Record. Let's find out.
I can't also believe that many people watch Ninja because he's also like a turd. But whatever.
Ibai 3.4 million.
Oh wow, really? That
Gref
many?
G 2.4 million.
Oh, okay. So that he's been broken by that other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this person?
I don't know. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
Why would you? Yeah. Is it a Latin streamer?
Could be.
I don't know. It seems like they have
Spanish internet celebrity.
Yeah. I was gonna say it seems like those sort of Latin America, whatever Spanish speaking ones the ones that get big are just like boom, the hugest in the world.
He had a return to Twitch stream that was millions.
Crazy.
People. That's wild.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Super wild.
Imagine even if you get 1% of those people subbing. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
That's
he's got
crazy.
15,875 subs right now.
Yeah, but on that one return to how many subs do you think you got on that?
Probably quite a few.
Whew, baby. Anyways.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Twitch. It's weird and wild.
That's a thing.
And if you're complaining that these girls on Twitch are taking away your viewers and subs, you're an idiot.
Yes.
Because
they're literally not.
Those people are never going to watch or sub to you.
Ever.
Yeah. They don't have an advantage over you.
They sure don't.
That's just there are different people that are watching them.
Yep.
So I've seen that before where people complain like, oh, these e-girls, they're stealing views and subs from me. It's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're dumb. You're
so stupid.
Unfunny and nobody wants to watch you. That's
you're so
stupid.
Thing. So
that's just it.
Whatever.
Yeah. So a while ago, there was a game. That was tooled to be this amazing open world, zombie shooter, and also a calendar app.
Oh yeah, that's right. They stole their name from a calendar.
They stole the name from their calendar app. The day before.
Yep.
From Fntastic.
Mm-hmm.
They launched the day before in early access.
Yeah.
Or early access launch.
I couldn't call it a full launch, that's for sure.
Couldn't call it a full launch.
Yeah.
And they're closed.
Yeah, and the game's
they
done.
shut down.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make enough money, quote unquote.
So, yeah, they announced the studio closure, but it seems like they just renamed the studio.
Oh.
I saw Asmongold looking at like trademark filings, and it looks like they changed the name from Fntastic to something else. Or the company name. Maybe they did close the studio. But again, this whole company, could they even call it a studio? Like, weren't they the ones that were like, they were dealing with people volunteering to make this game?
Yeah, I remember that.
And like, we want people that are going to be, you know, passionate about working on this. And they were using people around the world. I remember their little propaganda video we watched where it showed them all like having lunch and laughing and smiling and everything. I'm like, I was just like, this is the fakest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The game was laughably bad. Like, it should have been made by like one person. Like, if one person made that, I've been like, oh, decent attempt. You've made something here.
You've made something. One person. This is great for one person.
Yeah, but this was just like, and it was using like, you know, Epic Store or whatever purchased models and just so stupid. And the gameplay involved of you just running around killing zombies that were stupid as fuck, like stupider than the AI in Redfall.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, the like car alarms just going off continually around you forever, basically.
Yeah.
Graphical glitches where like you'll see an MP or a other player in the game and their character model will be like the size of a building. Just ridiculous stuff. But yeah, the game was out for like literally like days, and they're like, yeah, we're closing down.
Yeah.
Like, so they just launched it to see what they could get out of it. How many people would buy it? Just, you know, like, it's here, let's check it out. And then we're like, yeah, we're done. Sorry.
We're done.
We're not going to update this ever again.
Yeah.
So I would hope that, you know, Steam would not let them take their money and run.
No. I'm looking at the reviews now.
Yeah.
And 15% positive reviews.
15?
Yeah. And most of those positive reviews are like, Steam gave me my money after 4 hours of playing.
Oh, yeah. But like, I'm hoping that someone that didn't play for like 8 hours is Wait, what's the Steam return policy? 10 hours?
2 hours.
Oh, it's 2 hours.
Yeah. 2 hours.
After 4 hours.
Yeah. So this guy got a refund after 4+ hours. That's how bad this game is. And he's like, actually respect Steam for allowing this refund. But every review and the most recent reviews and the most helpful reviews are product refunded. Oh, yeah. Game shutting down. Do not buy.
It's crazy to think that Cyberpunk was in the same situation.
Yeah.
Like, Cyberpunk was like a game, a playable actual game.
Yeah.
And people were up in arms about Cyberpunk and getting refunds after full refunds from even Sony were giving refunds. Sony was like, we're removing this game from the store. It's so bad. It's like, what? And
best review here is they released the day before and closed the day after. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's a crazy story. I remember when they saw the announcement on Twitter, I was like, this game just came out like 2 days ago. Like, holy fuck, what the crap? So crazy. Yes.
But it was always a scam, basically, from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they really thought they could do something.
Maybe.
But the whole like setup was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if these two dudes ever try to do anything else in the gaming space, I'd be very worrisome. Oh,
they released Prop Night as well.
Yeah, that was a prop hunt knockoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has mixed reviews. It's probably mostly just review bombing from the night after.
Well, what's the recent viewing?
Oh, yeah, it's the studio shutting down. Do not buy.
Yeah.
Game is dead. No more updates. Just dead. Sad.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's dead. You could sell it off to another company, or you send it to their new renamed company and continue working on it. That's not necessarily dead.
Did I play this game at all?
The only prop hunt game I've played is in Gary's mod.
I've played another one. Oh, I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah. I get served clips of people playing other prop hunt style games on TikTok. I'm like, why are they showing me this idiot hiding as like a wheel in this game? Like, why does TikTok think I want to see this shit?
I don't know.
TikTok's algorithm like is very weird that way. Where I'll be like, tell it 100 times, like, don't show me this fucking guy. And they keep showing me this fucking guy.
I don't watch TikToks unless someone sends them to me.
I just do because I'm at work and I got whatever 10 minutes to kill. I'll be like, let's watch some TikTok. And then they'll show me this one idiot who just keeps showing, he shows like where samples come from. And the whole video is him playing a song and pointing at the video above him and then changing to the other one and pointing at it. And I'm like, don't show me this fucking guy ever again.
Yeah, that's standard React content right there. Just pointing. You're like nodding his head. Yep.
Oh, I fucking hate it.
Make no noise. Just nod your head.
There's no way to block them. I cannot figure out how to block someone on TikTok.
It's the meta.
Oh, it's the meta now. I fucking hate when I see that guy's face. I go into a rage. It's like the lowest quality bullshit of all time.
Yep.
Anyways, when are you going to stream this game the day before?
Never.
Oh.
Studio's shutting down.
You can still buy it.
I'll stream it if it's gifted to me.
Just buy it and return it.
Oh, yeah.
Easy mode. Or make a video and return it.
I could.
Easy mode.
Meh.
That's like stealing, dude. It's perfect. It's perfect crime.
Stealing content.
Perfect crime, dude.
It is the perfect crime.
Yeah, do it.
Speaking of the perfect crime. The Completionist.
Oh my god.
Karl Jobst has replied to the Completionist.
Yeah.
And the Completionist is just spouting other nonsense throughout his entire video, apparently.
Oh my gosh. So, like, I remember watching this whole thing. Quick rundown is Mutahar discovered that Gerard from the Completionist have the Open Hand Foundation, his charity, raising money. Has never donated any money in 10 years. They had like $600,000 sitting in their bank account, never donated it. So him and Karl got together and were like, what's the deal? Let's talk to Gerard. Find out what's happening. Talk to Gerard. He claims ignorance. I don't know why the money's not been donated. They look into it more and it's like, oh, he's been lying about this charity for like the past 10 years about what they're doing and everything like that.
Yep.
So let's make a video about it. And the first video, I think Karl did not monetize the video he put out, the first one.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think that was the thing, is the first one he put out, he didn't monetize. But then the second one he did. But I can't remember. Anyways, they broke it down and how, like, they showed, you know, he had been saying the money was who they'd given money to and they'd not given money to anybody. And he was using that as an excuse to raise more money by lying about where they got the money from. And they implied, like, you know, they were lying about the charity donating and where the money was going and how it was helping. And that's charity fraud, basically. By saying you're doing something to get more donations, that's charity fraud.
And then not donating anything, that's charity fraud.
And so, you know, Gerard, the Completionist, did a reply video. It's talking about, you know, this is not what's happened. Here's the true and honest story about what's been happening. And he said, like, you know, we've collected money and, you know, I didn't realize that it wasn't being donated. As soon as I found out, you know, I took care of it. We donated it. You know, what was he said? Like, you know, we said that bits, or like the money raised by bits and donations on Twitch was used to pay for these events that we did to raise money for charity. And, what else did he say? They claim I was embezzling money. I never embezzled money. Here's, like, I'm going to, you know, link down below is all these documents. You can look at them and it proves my innocence. And, you know, I'm talking to a lawyer because this is slander against me, right? And as I watch the video, I mean, he just talks about how he's innocent and how he didn't do it and how he's raising money for this, whatever, Alzheimer's or whatever, because that's how his mom died of, you know, Alzheimer's or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was. And, you know, he doesn't really show anything in the video. It's just kind of like, take my word for it.
Take my word for it. Read the documents down below.
And I didn't read the documents down below because I wasn't.
Nobody did.
I didn't.
Well, Karl did.
Karl did and Mutahar did, I'm sure. But people instantly in the replies is all, you know, people. I noticed the exact same thing with, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Pro Jared or someone else. I'm not sure, but the video would come out against Pro Jared and all the comments are like, oh, this guy's a turd, whatever. And then Pro Jared would do his response and all the comments are like, see, I knew it. You know, good reply, you know, no, both sides of the story. And it's, as I'm reading the comments under the Gerard guy, everyone is like, yeah, they're out to lunch and you should sue them and blah, blah, blah. And it's either like people that don't look into it or are like the Completionist fans posting there, right?
Yeah.
And Karl actually looked at the documents supplied and backed up what he said with actual receipts. That was the thing in the one, all the comments were like, oh, you came with the receipts to show you're innocent or whatever. And I was like, where were the receipts in this video?
Yeah, he just didn't, there were no receipts.
It was just him saying like, oh, just trust me. Just trust me.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth and we didn't take any money, whatever.
Yeah.
So then Karl did his reply video. Did you watch his reply video?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. I like the 2 minutes of
him just saying,
the Completionist saying that he donates all bits, all subs, all everything goes straight to the charity.
Yeah, because, and even the clip of him saying like, I personally paid for these events.
Yeah. So
it doesn't come from the charity's money.
Yeah.
And in his video, the Completionist reply, he says like, oh, we use that to offset the costs of these events, right?
Yeah.
And that's whatever. That's part of the administration cost of a charity. Is like you hold an event.
Yeah.
You pay for it, right?
Yeah.
But like it has to be reported.
Yeah.
As part of the charity's spendings.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just say you're doing a charity event, say the charity's paying for it, and then you pay for it out of the bits and donations that you come in, right? So I don't know if there's any way for them to track how many bits and donations they receive during these charity events, but I wouldn't have to guess that the amount of bits and donations is more than what the charity got.
I would imagine so. There's a lot.
I don't know. I can't say for sure. But yeah, it was pretty crazy seeing his thing. And Karl's video, the whole, oh my god, just like all bits, subs, and donations go to the charity. All bits, subs, it's like, oh my god. So, and then they also played, because in the previous video, Karl was like, we had an interview with Gerard that we recorded, and I only included part of it. I don't want to, release the whole thing just for whatever privacy, because some things were talked about off the record or whatever.
Yeah.
But here's some more that we didn't share with you before, and he played the clip of Gerard like sort of almost trying to guilt trip them into not releasing it.
Totally
by like, if this comes out, I'm going to be ruined, and I'm not going to just disappear from making videos. I'm going to have to disappear from the internet. Like, what can I do to make you guys happy with this? And blah 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 blah. And it's like, wow, that is some manipulative ass. Like,
what do I got to do to make you guys happy?
It'd be like if your ex, you break up with someone, they're like, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. That's basically what he was doing here. Like, you're going to end my life if you release this. And he, even in his, their interview with him, he's like, I can't just donate the money tomorrow. It'll look really like, suspicious. And, I don't want it to look bad or whatever. And it's, whoa, buddy. And then they showed like when Karl sent the email to the Open Hand Foundation, he got an email back and they're like, we've been trying to find someone to donate the money to. Like, do you have any suggestions where to send the money to?
Where should we send the money to? It's like, well, don't you say every stream, every charity event where you're sending the money to?
You've already sent it and you're one of the major donors to whatever ones they said.
Yeah, you're a major donor. How have you not sent anything and still be the major donor?
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's just been a whole thing. Like, will we ever see this guy again? I don't know.
Who knows? He did threaten legal action against Karl and Muda, and Karl's just like, bring it.
Yeah.
You're going to lose 100 times. 100 out of 100 times. You're going to lose.
I did go and I was like, well, this guy's, he's obviously known, whatever. He's doing big charity events. Jamie Lee Curtis. I almost said Kathy Lee. Jamie Lee Curtis is on the stream. Like,
yeah.
Let me look at his videos and see what's going on here. And I clicked on one. So his thing was he completes games, whatever. And I clicked on one and someone had posted like before this whole thing happened, it was a comment about how I call BS on your Persona 5 video. There's no way that you did this. You say in the video you played this and did this, but I call BS. You never did this. And it was before it wasn't like an attack for recent like charity thing. It was like an old comment.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me look at this Persona video he's talking about. And it was like, yeah, he probably did fake his video here because like it would have taken you 500 hours to do. So maybe it is a fact that he has people working for him and he just sort of says I when it's like we. Like I played through, you know, that's what me. I'm the completionist. But it's like, no, actually, I had my people play through the game and record the footage.
Yeah.
And do it because I can't do it. I don't have the time.
Don't have the time. It's a lot of time to do.
Yeah. Dang, there was another comment I wanted to say, but I don't remember what I was going to say now. That's too bad. Yeah, it's been a crazy story. I recommend checking out the whole thing, starting with Mutahara video. I'm not a huge fan of him. I don't really like his style of videos because they're kind of more, they're edited, but in a very bare minimum way.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also,
they're like hours long.
But it's also like he just sort of like Karl seems like he writes down notes.
Yeah, Karl's is
And they're
scripted.
Where Mutahara just sort of talks to the camera and then sort of trims it down afterwards. So it's more conversational style, but I just don't like it as much as Karl's video.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did watch all of Mutahara's videos, his video as well. But I would recommend watching those, then watching the Completionist reply, then going and watching Karl's. That's like a whole day's worth of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But the whole saga is quite interesting to check out anyways.
Yeah, there's no way anyone would have the time in the world to complete all these games within all this time, have them edited together.
Yeah.
Like these are...
I mean, whatever. People fake videos like that all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like that bad of a deal, but it's kind of just adds to his like phoniness about it because he always claims that like that's me.
Yeah.
I'm the completionist. That's what I do. I complete games.
100% games.
Yeah. Which is, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You'd release one video a month then.
Yeah.
So,
if that.
Yeah. And they got lots of views. They're 1 million views and everything like that. So,
Indieland is still quite prevalent on Steam. I'm looking at their Steam page right now.
Oh, that was him. Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
Yep.
I've seen that on Steam before. Yeah, that'll be gone shortly.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? They've got sales going on for the Indieland games, the midweek special games.
Yeah, there won't be another one of those afterwards.
Yeah. Super Dungeon Designer.
Oh, the Super Dungeon Designer. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. One of Gerard's big things that he said they didn't want to donate the money to charities that had high administration costs. And administration costs are like what we talked about, where you use the money to pay your employees, as well as when you do events, you have to pay for them somehow.
Yeah.
So like to get donations, you will hold an event to, in theory, get more donations than you paid out to hold the event, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he said he didn't want to donate to a charity that had high administration costs. But that was the thing, is he was doing the exact same thing where he was saying all the money's going to charity, but they used all this money that they were getting to pay for the event he was holding, which is the administration costs.
Yep.
So he didn't want to send the money to a charity that had high administration costs, but he was doing the same thing. It's a case of do as I say, not as I do. So,
yes, 100%.
Yeah, it's been an interesting story for sure. And I'd never heard of this completionist guy before.
No, me neither.
Well, I mean, I must have heard of him in a tangential way, because like I knew about the indie sale thing on Steam. I've seen that before, but I didn't really like know anything about it. It's just like, oh, indie games, okay, whatever. Who cares? And I probably have heard of him or seen him on something before, but before this whole thing came up, he was...
Yeah, just not even a blip on the radar.
Yeah, even if I would have like come across his channel, like even when I tried to watch his Persona video and stuff like that, I was just like, no, I'm not interested in watching this guy's videos. So I wouldn't have like, stayed to watch from before, Yeah. And of course, YouTube immediately is like, oh, you watched one of his videos? Well, here's 7 more. And I was like, no, don't recommend this channel ever again. Thank you. So yeah, it's been a super interesting story.
Yes. It's interesting to see where it goes. Interesting to see if he's going to actually sue Karl or take any kind of legal action against them.
Yeah.
Or what's going to happen.
Yeah, he seems like, I mean, I don't know if it's just whatever, if it's a natural side effect of being semi-famous or whatever, but yeah. He seemed to love getting the attention of people and being in the spotlight and, getting praise and whatnot. But I mean, I don't know. If I was to run a scam, I think I would run it smarter than that.
A little bit. Not a public charity where everyone can see your tax records.
But I mean, he got away with it for so long.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, I've been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, you just keep going.
So the other thing too is like they never showed like a bank statement.
No.
They showed what they filed. Like, here's what we have to the IRS. But is that like, oh, it was sitting in Gerard's bank account for 10 years, earning interest?
Yep.
Like, where's the breakdown of how much interest they earned?
Yeah.
You know? Because like interest on $600,000 over the 10 years is not an insignificant amount.
No, that's a lot of money.
I mean, it would end up being what do you think? Like over the course of 10 years, like $3,000 a year just in a basic savings account.
Yeah.
So it's 30 grand.
Yep.
Where's that money?
Yep.
That was the other thing too people are complaining about. It's like, yeah, okay, he donated $600,000, but like $100,000 from 10 years ago is worth like 80 grand now, just from inflation.
Yeah.
If you would have donated $100,000 10 years ago, it would have made more of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of reasons why it's fucked up.
Yes.
Anyways,
Definitely.
I would love to see if he comes back with another video or like anything in the future ever again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him.
Yeah.
See what goes on. Could just be all over.
He seems pretty manipulative.
Little bit. He
know.
does bring his dead mother up
every
opportunity that he can.
That is so true. And then he posts the autopsy as one of the documents.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a sympathy play, man.
Yeah.
Like, what does her donation of her brain and spinal column or whatever have to do with your charity fraud?
Right?
It's like, to prove she died of this? We believe that part of the story, buddy.
That's literally the only part we believe.
Yeah. The one thing, though, Karl did not bring up was the fact that, as a throwaway comment, Gerard said, like in his video, like at the start of the golf tournament, it wasn't a charity event. And I was like, Karl never mentioned that at all. Because I remember when I heard that, I was like, what? That's so weird. Like, they just held a memorial golf tournament that wasn't for charity and they just kept all the money?
Yep, apparently.
That's so weird. Anyways.
I think I'll have a charity event now.
You're going to?
Yeah, I have to.
For just in general?
Yeah, my dead mother, of course.
Oh my God.
And then I'll just keep bringing that up over and over again. We're doing this for, cancer research, blah, blah, blah.
And then
my dead mother,
money
blah,
in your
blah.
bank account?
Yeah.
For 10 years?
For 10 years.
It's 30 grand, dude.
It's 30 grand.
Sounds pretty good to drag your mother all around the town. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
No thanks.
But maybe it started off as like, actually like we're doing good
intentions. Yeah. And then the money
it just was like, oh, well, whatever. No one says anything if I keep it in my bank account.
Yeah. The money just kept rolling in and they'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
They got the dollar signs in their eyeballs,
Yeah. And like, we haven't even seen any documents from like the golf tournaments.
Nope.
What happened with that money?
Yeah.
Like it got donated to the Open Hand charity when it became a tournament or an actual charity event. But like what was going on before that? I don't know, man. Very wackadoo.
Very wackadoo.
Yeah. Yeah. Pixacat, our editor, says researcher says the Completionist brother was talking shit in the Reddit to people and then the Reddit got shut down. Like, just don't comment. Like, I know the idea with the Completionist's reply was he has to try to save some face.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you his lawyer was like, don't make a fucking video. Do not say anything. Just get off the fucking internet. And he's like, no, I have to. I have to try to save face here. So stupid.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
I'm trying to find more stuff on the Open Hand Foundation here, see what the IRS is coming in to do.
That won't be listed on there.
No, probably not.
No, the IRS won't tell you they're coming until they're there at your door.
Going 8.
Like, they got to be on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 month ago, is Open Hand Foundation a scam? On r/accounting.
Yeah. That's probably about when this sort of came through, So,
yeah.
Anyways. It's not a scam. It's just... anyways, is it a scam? I guess maybe. You say you're donating the money and you never actually donated a single penny. I guess that's charity fraud.
It looks like they've changed a lot of stuff on their website too.
The Open Hand Foundation?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they've gone through and tried to scrub it all off of there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
so, sorry, buddy. The Wayback Machine will have it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they've done a lot of scrubbing.
And if you don't think that Karl or Mutahar like was like, oh, we better cache this website right now while we're working on this story.
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy. So
yeah, it's a tiny little website now. I'm pretty sure it used to be bigger. Like there's only one benefactor on there now.
Well, of course, because all the others were lied about. They
Yeah.
delete their when they said they were donating to like universities and shit like that. Like none of that shit happened.
Let's see if we can register. All the registration for the golf tournament's still there. Let's see if we can actually register for it.
Oh my god, it probably would work still. Because the golf tournament was a separate entity,
Yep.
but it's on the Open Hand Foundation website now.
Yep.
So they are working together. So yeah, I think there's more that maybe Karl didn't say anything about it because he didn't have any like sturdy proof. Like
Yeah.
the other stuff he had sturdy proof of. Seems like there's not much about the golf tournament going around. So yeah, maybe that's why he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, there's the information tab has the 2024 PBD Convenience Cup Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say anything that it's a charity event. There's where to send payment, tax ID detectors, directions, welcome. But all of that stuff just goes to the 2023 stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing about a 2024 event. There's only photos
Well, I
from
can't
the
imagine
2022
there'll be
event.
another event. I can't imagine.
Yeah, this is all it's just all for the convenience store. It looks like there doesn't seem to be anything about charity on this particular website.
Someone needs to look into the books of the old convenience store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just called the Convenience Cup Challenge now.
Yeah. It's messed up stuff for sure.
You were unable to register for the 2024 event.
Oh, fudge. That's too bad.
Let's find out more information on Indieland.
That's probably been all scrubbed too.
It's just all the old stuff. Get notified. No.
Don't put your email.
I'm okay.
in there.
I don't want to do that. I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend everybody, if you got like, some time, just watch the whole saga.
Yeah, it's wild.
I would, if you don't have enough time, skip Mutahara video.
They're long.
I mean, I just think Karl does a better job of sort of getting to the point.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, like, I think it's like Mutahara is recording on like a webcam.
Probably.
The quality was very bad.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Oh, yeah.
Valve bans Dota players.
Yeah. You can say
with
turds.
a special gift.
You can say turds. It's okay.
I don't know. Turd doesn't really roll off the tongue too well.
Okay.
Valve literally gift wrapped its permabans for Dota 2 players this Frostivus.
Yeah. So, yeah, you would get into Dota and there's a gift you can open and it would be like, you've unlocked a lump of highly toxic coal or something like that. And then it would come with a permaban. So the one clip I saw was a guy who got permabanned until 2038, I think, like something like that. So I was like, well, what's going on with this here? They're tricking him into getting a permaban. And I asked my Dota expert friend Heck, I was like, is this guy like a known Dota turd? And he's like, oh yeah, he is. And his thing is he will be smurfing and highly toxic, but then he gets all of his like Twitch followers to just like vote or whatever, or like I don't know what it's called in Dota, but they give the rep to be like he's a good player.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that he's highly toxic in the game. It's covered by his like turds that follow him. But his turds in the chat were like, hey, did you open your gift yet? You should open your gift. Why haven't you opened your Christmas gift yet? And then he opened it and he's like, what, I got permid? What the hell? So I like how they did that because it'll sort of trick you into doing it.
It's a good time.
But this guy, he's a notorious turd, apparently. It's
a turd mongler.
If this guy is such a notorious turd, why don't they just have like someone at Valve, the Valve account, follow this guy on Dota, and when he goes live, you just ban his account? Like, couldn't they just do that? I don't know.
I imagine they could.
But I like how they did it just as a trick. Like, hey, all right, you got your Festivus box or whatever, Frostivus box. Open it up. Oh, you got banned. Sorry. Pretty funny way of doing it. That's for sure.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. I like how they kind of have to do it that way too, because, well, I guess he wasn't technically cheating, I guess.
No, just smurfing.
And But if they have some sort of smurfing detection going on, they can't just send out 100,000 bans at once, because that sort of gives the people doing the cheating, like, how did we all get caught at once? So it gives you like, well, I know they do it for like with cheating mods. They can be like, oh, that's how we got caught. So let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, because if you slow roll bans out,
yeah,
they can figure it out. No, that's how they figure it out. It's that, okay, well, you got banned here, and then the next guy got banned, and you can put the pieces together. But if everyone gets banned all at the same time, they don't, because they get the list going for months and months and months, and then they just do a huge ban wave. Then it's harder for them to detect how they got caught. Right. Because they're getting caught on so many different levels up until then they ban them all at once.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I know Dota is highly toxic, but you know, they make a lot of money with Dota. So you think they could have it. So, I mean, then again, what's banning one guy repeatedly going to do?
Right.
If everyone else is toxic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of other people got banned, I would imagine.
No, yeah, there was lots of clips of people getting banned, but it's just like, you know, if this guy's a notorious streamer for doing this and they want to cut this sort of activity out, they could just, every time he makes a new account, ban. Yeah. Ban. Yeah,
I watch, like I said, I watch a lot of Rust admins going around banning people. Yeah. And the one that I watch is, of course, Komomo. But he doesn't tell you anything about how he was caught or what these people were doing to get caught. He tries to show you their cheats sometimes, but other times he's just like, no, it's banned.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny, too, because on the servers that he admins for, if you have been banned previously in Rust, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what account, you're not allowed to play on that server.
It's like the VAC ban in Steam.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because he can see when people are using a VPN.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'll go up to the cheater and be like, or the guy who's avoiding his ban by using a VPN and be like, oh, how's that VPN working out for you? Yeah. It's working. You're doing it. You're getting around us.
Yeah. Yeah, just ban the VPN.
Yeah. And then he sticks a rocket up their bum and it's funny.
Oh, yeah. The only Rust I watch is, I don't even remember his name, but he's just a guy that's really good at Rust.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. And then he'll rap at the end sometimes. It's pretty interesting because he's not like toxic. I mean, he's kind of just like a good player, and there'll be like a newbie, and the newbie will be like, oh, "Don't kill me, please, I'm new." And he'll be like, "That's okay, come in my base, let's go. I'll help you out." And then he'll like raid some crazy base and destroy it and break it, and then he'll be like, "All right, everything's yours, bye." I can't think of his name though. It's pretty interesting though.
I just watched. Other than Komomo, Dirt Rider.
No, Dirt Rider.
He just does trap bases and trolls crazy, and it's so funny.
This guy does that too. He doesn't troll, but he'll set up like, you know, stuff to beat guys. But it's more about like going into a server and being like, oh, these assholes built a base around like, I don't know how Rust works, like the place where the trader is. Yeah. So no one else can use it. Well, that's no good. Time to break in there and like open it up for everybody. And that's just like, why wouldn't you just play on a private server if you're going to do something like that? I don't know.
I mean, that's what it's all about, is being a dickwad in Rust.
Yeah.
Like,
Wellen. Dirt Rider. His name's Wellen.
Oh, yeah. Dirt Rider found he gets told a lot of the exploits that people find. And there's this one exploit where you can get vehicles inside of one of the no vehicle zones. Yeah. You can like blow up your vehicle, it'll flip over because the physics were off. Oh yeah. And land in there. But if you're in a camper van, if you drive into someone, that person is automatically stuck in your camper van and can't get out.
Oh, fun.
So that's what he was doing. He'd be like, drive into people like, "What, you think you're going to go outside?" Nope. Drive into him. He's stuck in the camper van. Oh my God. They don't even have to get in the camper van. You just drive into them. They glitch into the camper van and they can't get out.
Their carcasses.
And he's like, "Give me 15 scrap, you're hostage."
Oh my God.
Like, oh my.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's a good time. Anyway, Dota 2, lump of coal, permaban.
That's called like a sidebar.
Yeah. A way a sidebar.
Yeah, exactly. What's the word that I'm looking for?
On the side?
No, tangent? Yeah, sort of tangent. There you go.
Extreme tangent.
Words.
Yes. Not something I'm good with. Last of Us Online.
Yep.
That was a thing that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
That's okay.
Straight up canceled.
That's fine.
Did you need a multiplayer in Last of Us?
Well, I didn't personally, but some people were excited for it. I don't know why you would be excited for a Last of Us Online mode, but I mean, the mode sounded kind of interesting the way they were doing it, where you would have a faction that you were working for and you would go out and collect. It sounded kind of like State of Decay with PvP kind of.
I think we talked about this before, and I think the way that they were going to do things sounded pretty cool.
Yeah,
it sounded pretty
interesting.
Awesome.
It was a new thing, but they canceled it. What's his name? Mike Drucker? Is that his name? He said, like, we had to make a decision. Are we going to just be an online game company doing The Last of Us Online, or we can continue doing what we were doing, which was single player narrative games? Because it's one or the other, basically.
Yeah. Once you go games as a service, you've got a smaller team.
Yeah.
That's not.
So they're like, we don't want to do online games, so fuck it, we're canceling it. And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I thought it was stupid that they even announced it in the first place. Like, I personally thought it was like Sony said to them, you're making an online game.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, sir, Mr. Sony.
Yes, Master Sony.
And they started to do it, but maybe not. Maybe they were actually working on the game as a real thing,
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was a big deal, but then I went to Twitter and whoa, baby, people were not happy that it was getting canceled.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy. Just the amount of like hate they were getting about canceling this online mode and how they were owed it basically like that.
You owe us this online mode.
Well, it was supposed to be part of like a free thing with Last of Us 2. And obviously that never happened. So, yeah. People were upset.
Yes,
even
upset.
DSP was super upset, but he also hates Neil Druckmann.
Oh,
he despises him for some reason. So he went on a huge rant talking about how people are owed this game, and they should be upset, and you should contact Sony, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, shut the fuck up, DSP. You're an idiot. So, yeah, this is a thing where I would have been like, if I own Last of Us 2, I would try it out to see what it looked like or whatever. But
yeah.
It's not something I was interested in playing, really.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was only PvE on the online sphere, but I don't know. PvE is just not really something I care for.
No.
I don't mind it. Well, I mean, if it's, I don't know. I guess it depends on the game. I can't really think of a PvE game that I've ever played, really. Besides,
there's tons I've played, but can't.
I mean, like,
can't recall what they would
be. There was a small little bit in Apex that was PvE.
Yeah,
but you pull that's Apex is like they added in a VE part.
Yeah,
but like any game that's like that, I don't know. Like
Sea of Thieves.
I mean, I've played it, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
yeah. I was getting asked to play the Skull and Bones beta.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would I want to play that? I don't like Sea of Thieves. And this is just like Sea of Thieves with a not terrible art style. Like, I don't want to play that either.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I can't think of any PvE game that I've played.
I'm sure there's some that I've played, but
I mean, like Rust is like that.
Oh, Tarkov.
Oh, Tarkov. Yeah, of course. Yeah, see, I've never played Tarkov.
Yeah, that's what I've played.
Yeah. I don't want to play it. I'm not interested, okay? Get off my fucking back.
You know what we're interested in, but not around anymore?
What's that?
E3. Canceled.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, they've said this like 4 other times in the past, so I also don't believe this announcement either. Maybe they'll try to retool it or whatever.
It'll be E4.
Well, no, it'll be E3 when it comes back again. This is just another. Anyways, it's like, we'll announce E3's gone. Sorry, never coming back. And then when it'll be, E3's back.
What?
We've done it. Everybody, you can come in. It's here. Like, they're going to try to do it again.
I would imagine so.
Because E3 has been canceled
multiple times.
Yeah, in the past. Like, they did a whole thing where they didn't do the regular E3 anymore. And they did it all at hotels in Las Vegas, where you would go to like a hotel room and it'd be like the EA room. They did one that was like all open to the public the whole time. E for everyone, I think they called it. So yeah, unfortunately, it sucks.
That's E4.
E4. I like E3. The time of year. I mean, that's the thing though too. the time of year is still going to happen without E3.
Yeah.
Microsoft will still hold a press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Sony will still hold a press conference, whatever. It'll just be, not at E3.
Yeah.
And that's
no
fine.
one can, no one will be able to win E3 anymore.
Yeah. I just liked it because it was all like sort of an exciting time of year. And it was always a thing where, growing up, I'd be like, man, I'd love to go to E3. Oh my God, that'd be so rad. And I still would like to go to E3.
Yeah.
But that'll be in 2025 when they come back.
Rekindle it.
Yeah. Yeah. I always like to watch the press conferences and just, see what's coming and what they're announcing. They've gotten much better nowadays compared to when they were, earlier. Like if you look at the first E3 press conferences, it would literally be like, welcome to the stage, Sony head of accounting. And they would be like, year over year, the PlayStation 3's sales growth is 23%.
Yeah, that was back when it was an event,
a trade show
for the trades. Yeah. Trade show.
Like E3 started as a show for like Mr. Walmart to go to E3 and be like, I'll take 50 units of this game to every store.
Yeah.
And it became more of like, showing off the games that are coming to the general public. But yeah, it was literally like you would go to E3 as I would go to a trade show and be like, send me 50 tents. They would go like, yeah, send me 50 copies of this game, because that was the only way to get information.
Yep.
Back when the E3 started.
Yeah. Before the internet was super big.
In the early 90s. You couldn't like get a video of a game. You had to go see the game in person.
Yep. Had to go down to the Nintendo theater and get all your latest game information and then figure out what you're going to stock in your stores.
Exactly.
That's what it was all about.
Exactly. And there was crazy like announcements at E3, like Sega's press conference back in like 1996. They were like, yeah, we're bringing out the Sega Saturn and it's available today in the store. Go to Toys R Us. You can buy it today. What the fuck? Really?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Sega Saturn, let's go.
Yeah.
So, I got Knights.
Yeah, exactly. So it sucks. I always liked E3. And yeah, the press conferences were actually pretty good nowadays.
Yep.
Well, for the big Nintendo, not Nintendo, they didn't go to E3 anymore, but Microsoft and Sony's press conferences, EA, Ubisoft, generally were all good. The worst one in recent memory was Bethesda's one about 2 or 3 years ago when they were like, we got nothing. Show them Commander Keen.
We're remastering Commander Keen.
No, it was like a new mobile game for Commander Keen. It was so bad.
Commander Keen Infinite Runner.
Like, welcome to the stage for a performance, Andrew WK. And then he played like whatever, Party Hard or whatever his famous song was. And the crowd was just literally like, bring back the games.
Where's the games?
Not a single person was like into it at all. It was one of the saddest press conferences I've ever seen.
That's funny.
Almost as sad as the Microsoft classic always online debacle for the Xbox One announcement.
Terrible.
So many memories.
Yes.
I took a time off work to watch that Microsoft press conference.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is bad.
I might not have been working at that time anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? That was so long ago when I was still a console boy.
It wasn't really that long ago.
No, but I was still a console boy at that time.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yes. Lastly, we didn't really talk about this last week, I don't think. The RubiRose OnlyFans guy who spent $64,000 on her.
Yeah.
On her OnlyFans. We didn't really talk about it.
She claimed it.
She claimed that he did. Yeah. And so I watched Adam22 talk to this guy about what was going on. And apparently they had just found his picture and reached out to him to be the guy who did the donation. It wasn't actually him.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, they just paid me to come and do this and get a tattoo of her. And to hang out with her a little bit.
Okay.
And I was like,
we take his word on it though?
Adam22 did. I mean, he sounds like just like a dude.
Okay.
Just like a regular dude. He's got like food trucks and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, he just sounds like a regular dude.
So he has potentially enough money to do it?
No, because they're touting him as a Bitcoin millionaire.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he could just throw $64,000 at her.
Okay.
But apparently he's like, no, I'm not a Bitcoin millionaire.
Okay,
they paid me a bunch of money to get this tattoo on my leg.
Okay.
Because he's got all kinds of crazy tattoos already.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. They paid this guy to go take a picture with her, get a tattoo of her, and take the fall as like a guy that gave her 64K. And they didn't have him sign like an NDA or nothing?
No, they didn't.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's come out and be like, yeah, that's, I mean.
Obviously the thought was like, the story will come out, that'll be the end of it, but he'll fade back into obscurity and whatever. But people were like, hey, you're the idiot that gave RubiRose $67,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, I gotta fucking set the record straight now.
I think so.
Yeah, why wouldn't you get in it? If you're gonna, I mean, how much money do they probably give him to do this? Probably not that much.
Not that much. I don't think it was.
You would think they'd have him sign some sort of NDA or something like that.
Yeah, you would think so.
Then again, does it even matter?
I don't think so.
That it's faked? I never knew who this chick was.
No, me neither.
I never would have known who she was. Now I do.
Yeah. Everyone knows who she is now.
I went to look at her, whatever, Instagram or whatever. And I was like, yeah, she's attractive, I guess.
I guess.
She's like a average woman I see on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much money I would have to take the fall for something like that.
Probably a lot. I would imagine. Probably $64,000.
There's no way this guy got paid $64,000 to do that. He probably got $1,000.
Yeah, not much. He was like, yeah, I got all kinds of crazy tattoos on me. I don't care. Like, this is on the back of the calf. I'm never going to see it. Whatever.
Yeah. That's like the guy who got like a fucking Turok tattoo to win a Turok contest back in the day.
Yeah.
The N64 game. Yeah.
And yeah, he was just a dude.
Yeah, I clicked onto it for 2 seconds and I was like, God, this guy just sounds like he's on Xanax.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's in a coma. I can't watch this. So
yeah, it was very not that interesting.
He had no like energy at all.
No energy,
just
no presence,
there,
just hanging out, just like, yeah, this is what I do. This is what I did.
I can't
this
watch
is why
this.
I did it.
I can't watch it.
I watched a little bit of it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but pretty wild. $64,000. They had to find a guy who looked the part.
So why say $64,000?
I don't know.
Why not say $1 million?
Well, that's actually someone who did it, but they found somebody else to pose as that person.
Oh, so they're saying someone actually paid $64,000 to her?
From what I gather, yeah, somebody actually did.
Okay, but that's probably a lie too, though.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, I would say it's probably a lie. Why did you do that edit? Can I ask you? Why did you just do that edit?
I don't know. It was blue, so I did it.
I'm looking at our outline here we make on Google Drive, and we have, we can both edit it, and this just says RubiRose OnlyFans guy says it's all fake, and Mikey edited it so that it wasn't just ITS, it was IT''S. And I saw it happen here, and I just was like, why? Why did you do that?
It was blue. I clicked it. I clicked things that are blue, underlined blue, and I fixed them.
Okay. Well, you didn't fix RubiRose. That's still fucked up.
There you go.
The RubiRose OnlyFans guy says it's all fake. That was the error there.
That was the error.
It needed the on the start of it. Wow. Okay.
Nailed it.
Oh my God. So crazy.
Yes.
Anyways, that was funny.
Very funny.
RubiRose.
Wild times.
Yeah, I'd have to have a couple grand, I think, to take a tattoo and take the fall for that.
Yeah.
Considering I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, definitely.
To be my first one for some OnlyFans thought.
Right?
Probably have to be fairly a large amount of money.
I would think so.
Especially if it's on my calf. My calf is exposed all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shorts throughout the winter.
I'm wearing pants right now.
I can't see them.
Well, take my word for it that they're still on.
I will.
I'm doing some artistic nudity over here.
You are doing some artistic nudity.
Yeah.
Speaking of artistic, Gameclub. Ladies and gentlemen, each week we play a video game. We play a chapter or a segment or a timed interval of that video game, and then we talk about it. And this is a game club, which means you could play along with us and share your experiences within the game. And you could do so by joining us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/StreamVoidPod, or in the Discord, where there is a forum there called Game Club. And of course, we are starting our journey into Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Which I guess it is not as mission focused as I thought it was.
Definitely isn't.
When I started it, I was just like, wait a minute. I swear I Googled it and it was like 12 main missions.
Yeah, there are 12 main areas to go through.
Yeah.
But they're kind of mashed into each other and seamlessly flowing.
Well, it's also like you go from like this area and then you'll go into this area, but then you come back to this area and then you go to this area from like the hub area, basically.
Yeah, there is a hub area and there is an order which you do things.
Yeah.
But I found that when I started that I went through the first bit and I was like, okay, is this first bit still?
So like you being the first bit, like,
so the prologue is the ice climb.
Yeah. You're Laura and you're with Jonah.
Yeah.
You're in the snow.
Yeah.
Climbing a mountain in Tibet. That's not Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And you're trying to find the lost city of MacGuffin.
The lost city of MacGuffin, yes.
And it's an action movie.
It's
basically.
extremely action movie.
I remember as I was playing it, I was like, oh, I remember this got criticized at the time because it's very similar-ish to the start of one of the... What's the other game from Sony that's like Tomb Raider, but you're a dude?
Oh,
you're Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake Simulator.
There's been like 4 of them. Uncharted, yes. Yeah, there's like a starting of one of them where it's very sort of similar-ish in the mountains with a plane and all that stuff. So I remember it got criticized a bit for that at the time. Oh, yeah. This game's from 2015.
Yeah.
It still looks incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It was looking great.
I have everything set to... I'm playing downstairs now.
Okay.
So to avoid any, graphical errors from my television upstairs. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just everything's set to max. Yeah. And it looks fantastic.
I'm playing it on Xbox One. And yeah, it looks good on there too.
Yeah.
Really good.
This whole opening, I was like, "Ooh, just getting my heart rate up. I'm getting sweaty palms here getting through this." It was very well done. It was very exciting and very engaging.
I loved it because you're doing very almost Prince of Persia-esque.
Oh yes,
or Assassin's Creed-esque climbing about and jumping and all that stuff.
Yeah, you got
which Laura's always done that.
Yeah. You've got your pitons, you got your axe, your ice axes.
I called them crampons.
Oh, crampons. No, they're crampons. Pitons are the ones rock climbing things you put into the rock. Yeah. But I mean, they're hanging off of her, so technically she's got them. Yeah. You got your crampons on, you got your ice axes, and you're just climbing straight vertical ice cliffs. So I almost died laughing because there's a part where we get to, there's an avalanche and we have to jump over a rock and Laura falls and we climb up and, all this exciting stuff. It's tutorial, but it's like exciting. And there's a part where Jonah hooks himself to you. And we have to climb across to a thing, and you have to jump across. And Jonah, he's like, I can't make that jump. And Laura's like, I'll climb up top and pull you up. Yeah, pull you up. But I forgot that you have to swing the axe to grab onto the ice. Oh, I did that too. And I yeeted my way across, and I did swing the axe, and I just pulled me and Jonah to our deaths. It looks so funny. Like he's just like, and then you can see the rope pull him off the thing and he falls down after. I was just dying of laughter. Oh yeah, I did that too. I was like, oh right. It was I think I missed the first one. I went out there and I missed. Oh yeah. No, I didn't even swing. I just assumed she would grab, even though they like literally taught me like 2 seconds earlier you have to swing the axe. Yeah. So it was so funny just seeing him die like that. And I considered doing it a second time just to see that animation of them dying again. It was so funny. But we get to the top and then, avalanche happens. Jonah and Laura get separated. Yeah. And Laura's falls to the bottom. And then it's like 2 weeks earlier. Yeah. And we go to 2 weeks earlier with some backstory about what happened, that Laura's dad is dead and he was searching for something. We don't really know what yet. And people were thinking he was crazy. Yep. He was in the news, and even Laura's getting smeared a bit, like she's crazy like her dad. Yep. And she's gone to her, I guess it's her dad's old, like, research shack or shanty or something like that. I don't even know. I think that's actually hers.
Well, was it?
Yeah, I think she's got the tape of her father playing, but I think that's actually her place.
Okay. It just, the way she was looking at it made me think it was like...
Yeah, that's what I thought as well, until like a little bit further into that cutscene. I was like, oh, maybe this is her place, because she's like got everything on the wall. But I mean, it could be her father's as well.
Yeah. And then her stepmom, or not really stepmom, shows up and is, I loved your dad, but he, maybe it's time to give up his quest. She's like, you don't understand me. You're not my mom.
Yeah, that was the whole thing for sure.
I gotta go to do it or whatever. And then I think she leaves and Jonah comes. Is that not what happens?
No, I think.
So how do we end up in Syria?
I think it goes straight to after she leaves, we go a little bit somewhere in time where we're going to the prophet's tomb. And then after the prophet's tomb, we get that cutscene where Jonah comes in because she's like, we have to go to the top of the Tibetan mountain.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So that's when we go to Syria.
Yeah.
And this is sort of like the tutorial of like the first tomb, basically. You're going to be raiding as a Tomb Raider. This
is a really nice scene. We have Laura and a guide driving through some places, and I'm looking at all the rocks in the ground, like, you're not driving that smooth.
Yeah, that's exactly there's no way. What I said. I was like, wow, that's a smooth ride over those rocks.
Yeah, there's so many rocks. It's like they're just cruising down there. I'm like, your suspension is F.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a off-roading enthusiast now, I'm like, that's not real.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But he basically sold her out because she paid to get there, but the other guys paid
more
to get information about what he was doing, and then they kill him anyways.
Yeah.
The Apache attack helicopters shooting him, and they crash, and she survives somehow, as Laura likes to do. She's like a cat, 9 lives.
Yeah.
She falls down a hill and is all concussed. But
super concussed. I'm like, holy man.
She gets over that pretty quick.
No, real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, holy Christ. She's just, walking around just like heads ringing, and all of a sudden just spider climbing up mountains. I'm like, man, that is not...
So this game on Xbox, I don't think it has it on PC, but this has Twitch integration.
Oh?
So that was the one thing when I first installed the game, I had all these gifts because I bought the DLC.
Yes.
It was like $2.
I had 20 gifts.
Yeah. So I'm like, what are these gifts? And it's like, there's cards in this game?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
What is this baloney? Cards? So and then I was just, it's for their little expedition mode or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I don't care about that. So I had to open all these card packs and just clear them out because they're there. But the Twitch integration in the game is every, whatever it is, 3 or 5 minutes, chat can vote on either helping you or not. And if they vote to help, you get a card.
Oh,
with an effect that lasts to help you until 5 minutes or you die, whichever happens first, right? But I turned it on and I was like, well, how do we even do it? I'm like, it didn't even ask for my Twitch channel. Like, how does it work? So it was Googled and it's like, oh, you have to stream it through the Xbox Twitch app to do integration, which I don't even think would work anymore because the Twitch app is changed so much.
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't even work. So I was like, oh, I can't even do it. But there's also, I don't know if you saw in the options, a streamer mode that adds a bar to the top and the bottom of the screen that just shows you stats about how I've played the game.
Oh.
It'll just change and it'll be like, oh, you've killed 3 people. There's Twitch or streamer mode and it has bars on the top and the bottom. And in the bottom left, it'll just say you've killed 3 bad guys with stealth. You've traveled 700 meters. You've killed a total of whatever X amount of people. You've collected 13 of 14 items in this area. And it just sort of rotates through them all.
That's cool.
As you stream. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just turn that on and add some stats or whatever. But it was good and bad because as I'm playing the level, I'm like, oh, I'm missing one relic here. Where is it? But we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
When we climb into the first area, I like how it's like one of the first things she sees is a pillar. And she's like, oh, it's got all sort of symbols on it. I can make out this. It says prophet, but my Greek isn't good enough.
Yeah.
I can't read it. And then if you go and like read other Greek things in the level, you level up your Greek reading ability.
Yep.
And then you can go back to this pillar and like, you know, translate it or whatever. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then I was just like, is this going to be a case of where you can't progress until you level up your Greek?
I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's just going to be, you're going to get to know more of the story, the more Greek or the more Hebrew or the more Russian you learn. Because there's 3 languages.
Is there 3 or 4?
I think there's 3.
Because I found
3.
Mongolian too.
Oh, maybe it's Mongolian. Maybe it's Greek, Mongolian, and something else.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So yeah, I also don't know how far you played, but we'll get into that.
I played up until Siberia.
Okay.
To where we got base camp going.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you have to go look at these murals, which are very nice looking murals. And I was like, oh, the prophet is a Jesus figure.
Oh yeah, it's straight up Jesus.
It's not because they don't want to call him Jesus, because it also obviously
he's just the prophet.
The story is different because it's like, oh, they murdered the prophet. I mean, I guess they murdered Jesus too, but it's in a different way, right? And so you look at your 4 murals and you learn enough Greek to go back and look at the statue, and then the statue just is like, oh, it's pointing me to some coins. I was like, oh, that's a little disappointing, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of when we're in this area, once we go through this little area, we find the other people come in that were in the helicopter into this area. We're like, oh, they're coming. Yeah. So we go into this other area, we parkour around to get to this little temple. Yeah. Little, quote unquote. And man, this whole scene is great. I love the aesthetics of the broken temple. It's when I got there, I was like, man, this is Tomb Raider. Oh yeah. This is amazing.
Yeah. So for me, I had the streamer mode turned on. And it would tell me. And so it's like, oh, there's 14 things for me to find in this area. So I was like, okay, fine. And we have like, I call it Eagle Vision. I don't know what it's called for Lara Croft.
But it's called Raider Vision.
Yeah. It's basically like Eagle Vision from Assassin's Creed. You click in the stick and it highlights shit around the world for you to interact with, right? And I was trying not to use it because it's just like, well, it's just like, you may as well put a star on the map of where I need to go or whatever.
Yeah, 100% cheating.
So
not really though.
I didn't do it that much. But I did do it, whatever. But I did like the fact that eventually when you work your way up, you have to like do water puzzle, and it's not even a puzzle.
Yeah, this whole temple is a raise the water level high enough to get out.
Yeah, and in classic Tomb Raider, raiding a tomb, white privilege. It's like, destroy the tomb.
Oh yeah, 100% destroy the tomb all the time.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, there's a lot of little traps that go off where it's like spike traps come at you and you have to shoot the weighted blocks that it doesn't hit you, and a lot of like, drop this piece of wood into the water so you can climb up to it and get to other heights. But there's all sorts of. So I didn't have the stream remote on, but when I go to the map, it tells me everything that's in there. Yeah, all the little quests and stuff you can do, all the things you can find. You can just shoot the pressure plates for the traps, and it triggers them. Oh, interesting. And then you can just walk underneath them, except the first one, which I thought was very nice of the trap makers to not put spikes and just had a nice circle to go around my ankle. That's very nice of them. Oh yeah, that's the one where the water floods. Yeah. So it circles around your ankle, and you're like, no spikes, just a nice circle, and then the flood comes. Place. Yeah. And then you have to hammer on the button to get you out of there. Yeah. Are you playing with controller or mouse keyboard? Yes, I'm playing with controller. So later when you parkour up and whatever, you get to, did you find the map of the area? Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. Where it's like you find the map and then the map shows you where everything is in the world or whatever. I was like, oh, that's very cool. A way to do it where it's not just showing you everything off the thing. And also, it gives you a way to find the stuff easier, basically. I'd found like most of it by the time I found the map. Yeah. So it wasn't like that much, but I did miss one because I thought it was like up top where the cutscene starts. Oh yeah. But as soon as you climb up there, as soon as you climb up there, the cutscene starts and it's like, well, everyone's going to die now. Yeah. So you have to continue on. You can't just like continue adventuring, which sucked a bit, but whatever. Yeah. I thought there was a bunch of stuff down so eventually what happens is You get to the tomb of the prophet. You open it. It's nothing in there. The bad guys come down.
Yeah.
You ambush them because you're in the tomb.
Yeah.
And then they have set a bunch of charges around to blow the tomb up.
Mhm.
And when you ambush them, you manage to grab the detonator from them.
Yeah.
And they're like, blah, 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 the prophet, we need the stuff. The thing for eternal life is in here.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah. There was nothing in there.
So you've got the detonator. The guy's like, just kill her, whatever. And then
Yeah.
you just detonate the entire thing and everything goes to hell.
Yeah.
But down that hallway you're running to get out, because it's just mad run.
Yeah.
I thought there was stuff when I was looking at the map that you could pick up down there, like coins and whatever.
I don't know. I picked up everything. I had one thing missing, and there was nothing up top for me. Like you said, it was way down below. I don't know why I thought it was up top. I thought it had an arrow pointing
No,
up.
it looks like it's up top. When you look at the map, you're like, oh, it's got to be up there. And I was like, how do I get up there?
Yeah.
And so I was faffing around down the bottom, like, oh, it's literally right here.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that one, but the one thing I didn't do in there was I didn't shoot down all the incense.
Oh, yeah.
Brazier things, because there was a challenge to do it.
Yeah.
Which I guess gives you more EXP.
No. It gives you money.
Oh, it gives you money?
Gives you 2,000 money you can spend on the market.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, for packs?
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't give a fuck.
That's what it gives you.
I thought it would give me something in-game, not those stupid-ass packs.
No, just packs.
Yeah, but when I first went in the room, I'm looking around at the roof, and I'm like, oh, there's obviously I'm going to be swinging from this bar up there. Like, there's a bar, like a gymnast bar up there.
Yeah.
So, like, how do I get up there? So I'm looking all around, like, how do I get up there to swing on it? And it's like, oh, that's the escape route. Like, that's where you're running when the place is going to hell, right? So the detonation, and you have to, like, kill two guys and, like, run, escape, and the guy gets crushed by, like, falling debris, and you just do a bunch of jumping and
just parkour your way out of there.
Way out. I do like that when you die, it only takes you back like a little bit of time. Not that I died in this spot, but like when I died earlier with Jonah.
Yeah.
You just spawn on the ice.
Yeah, you're just right before you jumped across.
So that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. Getting out of there, and it was very Tomb Raider-esque.
Yes,
and that's like a small tomb.
Yeah,
like easy puzzles and like nothing going on. So it'll be interesting to see how the other ones are. Yeah,
it was super exciting. That whole section, I was like, oh man, this takes me back. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely loving it. And after this, after you escape, we get another little cutscene where it's after this, you're back at the apartment, whatever, just paranoid AF.
Yeah. And you're like, my dad was close to it. We got to go to Siberia.
Yeah. And we need to get to the divine source is what they're calling it first. And that's a way to grant eternal life.
Yeah.
And, Laura wants to use it to help create medicines to overcome diseases, cancers, whatever, and all that kind of stuff. And she's being pursued by a mercenary group, whatever.
Trinity.
Called Trinity, yeah.
Which is it seemed very much Assassin's Creed-esque.
Very Assassin's Creed-esque.
Oh, this is a group that's been around since the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
And it's like good versus evil, like, the Templars versus the Assassins. So it was very much like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sort of minus the animus.
Yeah. And then Jonah's there and she's talking to Jonah and about going to this. And Jonah's like, no, we can't. We're not doing this. You're not doing this. We're staying here.
Yeah.
And then he leaves and all of a sudden an assassin a quote unquote assassin, more like a thug who has no idea what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Comes out trying to get her father's research books and all that kind of stuff. And there's, fighting ensues, scuffle. And then Jonah comes back in. He's like, oh,
scares him off.
Yeah. And then the dude jumps out the window. Laura takes a couple shots with the pistol.
Yeah. But he gets away. And then they're like, all right, fine, I'll go to Siberia.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then we flash forward back to where after Laura has survived the avalanche, shivering cold. Very cold. The snow physics are great. Just trudging through the snow.
Yeah.
And she finds that on the radio that she hears Jonas being like, I've made it back to camp. We're all safe here.
Yeah.
But she can't get a message to him.
Yeah. She just says, if you can hear me, don't come after me. I got to do this myself. I got to raid the tombs alone.
Yeah.
And then I did play a little bit around in this area, in the base camp area, but I didn't go any further than this.
I got the base camp going.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is great. And then it's like, it brings you up the whole crafting thing. I was like, oh my God, I forgot there was crafting in this. And so I was like, I went out, I hunted some bucks, I hunted some grouse.
Yeah, I did too. I got to a point where a flare went off.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, well maybe I won't go this way. And then I just messed about, got some leathers, got some killed some birds, you know.
Yeah, you got to kill the birds to get the feathers so you can make more arrows.
Yeah.
Because you can upgrade your bow and stuff.
I did upgrade. Cool. Oh, and I leveled up and I took the one that gives me more EXP because more XP is more levels. I leveled up 2 times, I think.
Oh, 2 times.
Yeah, I can't remember the second one I took. And that was the end. But I also did do one of the DLCs.
Oh, did you?
Do you want me to talk about that? The reason I did it was because I Googled it because I was streaming and it was like an hour and a half or whatever. I was like, well, I got to do something else here. So I did the Bloodlines Croft Manor one because it takes place between Syria and Siberia.
Oh, interesting.
So I can talk about that, or do you think you're going to play it?
I might play it. Okay. I've really been enjoying this game. I didn't want to stop playing.
It only lasts like an hour or something, so you can probably do it before you do the other Siberia stuff that we're going to do for the next one.
Yeah, is it just like a thing in the menu?
Yeah, it's like... well, you should have, when you complete or got to base camp, it should have said something like you've unlocked Croft Manor or something like that. If you have the DLC. Mm-hmm. So there'll be in the main menu, there'll be an option that's Croft Manor and it'll show you two things you can do. One's called Bloodlines and the other's called something else. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And the Bloodlines is basically Laura in the manor.
Huh.
And you're manoring around. So if you're gonna think about doing it, I won't talk about it today.
I think I'll give it a go. For sure.
It only lasts an hour. It's pretty much just story stuff. I mean, you do adventure around, but there's no combat or anything.
Yeah.
And if you don't play it this week, I'll just talk about it next week.
Sounds good. It sounds like it's a little bit of a harken back to the original first one on PlayStation where you could go to Croft Manor and faff about and get some story
There
stuff.
is one thing I will say about it that it's related to the original Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
You'll probably find it in the thing, but there's a lot of audio logs and stuff. And there's one from the butler, like Winston or whatever his name is. And he says like, you know, oh, Master Croft, we've had a little thing with your angel, Laura. She took me into the freezer and locked me in there, and I was found an hour later shivering, which was basically a thing that you could do in the original Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Because
Winston would shuffle around behind you the whole time you were in the manor, slowly shuffle, and he would always catch up to you if you stood still. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing you could do is you could go into the walk-in freezer, have him follow you in there, and then leave and press the button, and he would be locked away in the freezer. And he couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice little callback to the original PlayStation game. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember doing that.
That's right.
So the one thing I was like, I wonder if you can do it in this game. I haven't found out. Do you remember in the original Tomb Raider when you would jump off of a high spot, you could have Laura do a handstand?
Yeah.
I was like, can I do that in this game? I don't know if I can. I want to.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because you would just hold the button down to pull yourself up.
Oh, when you got back to base camp, did it just say, like, here's 10 costumes for you to wear?
It didn't tell me that, but I had those costumes.
So I put on the one that gives me rare drops from common animals. So
I put on ability to pick up arrows after.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's an actual ability you can unlock.
Yeah.
So I just went with the rare drops because I'm like, I'm going to level up my bow. I'll see about some rare drops, please.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I'm liking it a lot. The graphics are good and the gameplay is good and the story's interesting and I'm liking it. And I guess we'll complete Siberia for the next show.
Yes.
Because it looks like you just sort of go to different areas.
From your base camp.
That's kind of the way we should do it. I mean, if I get playing it on Saturday and it's like, well, I've been playing for 6 hours and I'm not through Siberia yet. Well, maybe we have to split it into 2 pieces, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
See how hard the puzzles are and whatnot.
Yeah,
That'll determine how far we go.
Exactly. Yeah, it's on. You should own this game already.
Yeah, if you don't, you did not do Epic properly.
I think I got it through Games with Gold. and I have it on GOG. I have it on Epic Games. Oh, do I have it on GOG? No, sorry, I'm getting confused. I had Control that I saw I had on
yes.
GOG, but it's on. You should have got it free on Epic. You should have got it free on whatever. It's got to be on sale at this time of year. It's probably like $7. Like you can play along with us.
You can 100% play along
and
with
you
us.
totally should.
And you should, yes.
Yeah.
You can either join us live on Twitch and interact with us while we're speaking about it. Share your experiences.
Or streaming it.
Yeah, or streaming it. Or you can interact with us on the Discord. Discord link is down below.
Yeah.
Purple Room Studios, which is where we're recording this wonderful podcast.
Yeah.
And there will be a forum post with...
it's already there.
It's already there. I've already been posting in it going like, holy man, this game's great.
Yep. Yep.
All right. With that being said, we'll see you guys again in 1 week's time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.